Shalom. Shabbat shalom, everyone. Shabbat shalom, and welcome back. Welcome back to Beulah Land at Temple Kifarim. Let's get this thing going, y'all. Let's go. Let's go. All right. We got to get moving in the right direction. And see, Amy, look at the screen and look at the amount of people that is showing that we have in the room. You see how that's wrong? You see how it's wrong, right?
It's not showing me anything.
Exactly. Oh, now it's popping up. Now it's starting to populate. Yeah. See, that's the numbers don't mean much. The numbers don't mean much to me. You know, I don't. Yeah. See, the numbers don't mean much. Who's that? The numbers don't mean much to me. You know, I don't. Is that you talking?
That's your extra.
Yeah. The numbers don't mean everything to me any longer. I understand that. The important thing is that the message is getting taught, people are receiving the message, and that people are moving forward, you know, with the understanding of how to draw closer to the Creator. So I would like, before we begin, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. And this is the time of day. I think Nasik might need a few minutes. Are you good, Nasik? Are you ready to proceed? Or you want a little bit more time? Okay. Yeah, I think he might need some time. He was having a little bit of difficulty. So this is what I want to acknowledge first. All praises be unto the Most High King of all creation, asking for his protection, his mercy, his kindness, and his blessings to be upon us in our lives and in our lifetime. May the Most High be praised, for there is no power like unto him, not in the heavens above, nor the earth beneath, neither in the waters underneath of the earth. Truly, the Most High, our power, reigns supreme. And we are here to serve him as his humble servants. For the day is here, the time is now, and all we can do is surrender our will to the Creator of all creation and ask that he would have mercy upon us. Abba, I sent you the link, Abba, earlier today, and it wouldn't go through on your phone. I don't know why, but I sent it out to you, and it kept kicking back to me. So I'll redo it here for you. But I sent it out to you earlier when I did all this, but it didn't work. All right. So all honor and praise going to the Most High King. Now I want to talk about the brother Nasi, who posted some things here in the room, who was here rather early today, about 10:15, maybe 10 of, somewhere in that area. But this is where he starts his conversation. He says, all praises to the Most High Elohim first and foremost. Second, shalom, happy Shabbat. If you don't mind, Ak, let me know. I would like to mention some health and nutritional tips. By the way, you didn't email me yet. I don't know what that email is about. So second thing is this. Happy Shabbat. For example, I've told some males and females in Israel to stop smoking that marijuana. Now they hate me for it. Now, see, let me, before I even read the next one, let me explain some things to you, Nasi. When you tell Israel what's best for them, they're going to hate you for it. Because as the prophet said, the people want to hear smooth things. They don't want to hear the truth. It sounds like that's what you're supposed to do. And it sounds like that's what people will want, the truth, but they don't. They want to hear smooth things. And another thing is that a lot of people are not actively willing to acknowledge their wrongdoings. They want to get angry, shift the blame, throw the direction to somebody else, but they don't want to accept what they have done wrong in this whole equation. Most of our people are of that understanding and of that attitude. So you can tell them. Most of them are not ready to hear, but it is important that you tell them that so that they will have a seed planted in their subconscious minds so that one day they can elevate to that level and that seed take root and they grow and they develop. But a lot of them don't want to hear that. He says, I come a military family. He comes from a military family of a professional doctor. So I learned quite a bit about the body and brain functions, however, misunderstood. I would agree. There is a part of the brain called the post-central gyrus, which is a very essential part of our Israelite brain importance. Okay, you got to finish up the rest of that when you get ready. And I don't mind you sharing that information because it's very important. But it's not good for us to consume these things. But a lot of Israel don't want to hear the truth of the matter. They want to hear smooth things. They want to hear things that they already agree with, that they ain't going to have to make too much discomfort come into their lives, because it's really about pleasure. It's really about doing the things that make you feel good. That's why a lot of us do what we do. And a lot of us go to rooms and places and associate with people that give us a feeling of feeling good. We don't want to go in a place where the prophets of the Most High is speaking the word of the Most High. We shun those type of things because we don't want to come into reality with our faults, our errors, and our shortcomings. People don't want to hear the truth, the hardcore truth. They don't want to hear it. They want you to word it down and give them a version that they can accept, a version that they would like, the way that they think you should be doing something. And that's not how the Most High has for it to be. Family in the room, does anyone have any problem hearing me? Is my sound coming through distorted, or are we good? Can everyone hear me? Shabbat Shalom, Sister Takari. Shabbat Shalom. May the Most High be with you. I missed you a little bit there, sis. I was asking about you. I was worried about you. We checked out. We made sure you was good. I was just checking because I hadn't heard from you, hadn't seen you, so I was a little confused. Just making sure you was good. May the Most High be with you, and may the Most High give you blessings upon blessings, you and your family. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, Chief Malak. Shabbat Shalom. Abba, Shabbat Shalom. Abba, where you been, stranger?
Shabbat Shalom, brother.
Hi. Missed you, man. How you been?
I've been well.
You had me over here pulling my hair out trying to make it through without you, man. I was like, where's Abba at? I need that wisdom. Come on, y'all.
I've been well. I'm trying to get rid of this.
You're
Yeah, I got some background I'm trying to get rid of. Let me see.
Okay. All right. And let me Nasik, are you available? Okay, he's still not available. Just give me 1 second, please. All right, please forgive me. All right. Where were we? We back. Seems like every week we have a different form of difficulty, but we back, family. Let's make this thing happen. Let's move forward. All right, today is the time where we're going to give acknowledgments to the Most High, thanking the Most High for the things that He's done, that, you know, how He's blessed us, whatever it is that we felt He's taught us and shared with us over this week. So we're going to go at this time and we're going to give acknowledgments to the Creator. Who would like to be first? To thank the Most High for anything special that you may want to thank the Almighty for. Who would like to be first? And if you want to come onto the platform, family, the link is going to be posted in the room. You can go to the platform and speak your piece. If you want to be seen, you can be seen. If you want to keep your camera blank, you can keep your camera blank. But it's more important that we acknowledge the Almighty. If you just want to type it in the room, then just type it in the room. Either way, it's acceptable, however you choose to do it. May the Most High be praised. Would anybody like to thank the Most High for anything special today? Shalom.
Shalom.
Hey, shalom, mother.
Well, I would like to give all thanks and praise to the Most High Creator for another Shabbat, another time to come and to celebrate Him and celebrate with our Mishpachah, and to be in a time and a place of learning and receiving His instructions, so that we can get the code of conduct that He's given us, so that we can conduct ourselves accordingly and be blessed thereby. I thank Him for what He's doing in my Mishpachah and through my children in their lives. And I'm just truly appreciative of the things that He's doing in this time, even as we're wrapping up our this time of feasting for wrapping up our year of our fall feast. It's really been phenomenal. And I just appreciate with the Abba for what He's doing in this time, for open doors of utterance, and for the way that He's moving in our lives. I appreciate Him for just the greatness that He's allowing us to see, and for His long suffering. And just something I've just been really noticing a lot lately is just that all the different things that we have to be thankful for. I'm truly thankful for His long suffering, for Him putting up with us. As we look in the scriptures, He's been putting up with us for a long time. And so I'm thankful for His long suffering and for His mercy and His grace towards us. But continue to pray that we get our act together a lot sooner and a lot quicker, so that we can see things turn around for us a lot faster. I'm truly grateful for the different teachings and the things that He's brought forth in our lives, and even the teachings of my late Ishar Mora, may the Creator bless her memory. And just truly thanking the Abba for even what He's doing in our lives moving forward, for letting us know that we can find love again, and that we can be strong again, and for that there's so much more left in us to bring forth into this world. And so I'm truly grateful for finding love, and for all the things that the Creator is doing in our lives, and for each and every one of you, of course, as we give praise to our Most High Creator, also giving thanks for the leadership of Beulah and Temple Kefarim. And because Prince, you are a man among men, I must say that. And I'm truly grateful to you, to your platform, to Princess Madaya, because the Creator knows who He's paired together to do the things that need to be done, and for the awesome things that are taking place there at Beulah, from the schooling to just the land, the homestead itself. Because one of the things that I've noticed that that with the hurricanes and everything that's going on, and people talk about the tragedies and everything that's taking place, and these things are horrible, and these things that are truly sad, but it goes all the way back to being prepared. When you're in a community and you're surrounded by people that you know that you're safe, you don't have to worry about, oh, they got a boil water advisor. That's all I like to say. I'm looking forward to, like I said, we getting that well up and running, making these things happen, so that our people can be protected and have a place of provision. We look back even in scripture, that our people always had a city of refuge, a city of this, so we always had provision somewhere, some kind of how. And so I'm truly thankful for what you're doing there at Beulah, and for what the Creator is doing in and through you, and for the ways that He's making. Just praying that our people wake up to preparation, to just being ready, and just not letting things, like when these storms come, and things are going to happen that's beyond our control. But the things that we can control, we need to grab a hold of them and control them. That way we're not in panic mode like the rest of the world. And so again, just appreciate you for all the things that you're doing there, and for just for the Beulah family there. And for I got a chance. I was thankful that I got a chance to meet Baba when I was there, and I said I got a chance to hug him. So I was like, yay! I got a chance to finally get a chance to meet the legend, and so that was a great honor, and it's always just a great honor to be among family, always. And so I'm just truly appreciative to the Creator for what He's doing and just for what He's yet going to do. I say yet reveal in and through us, because like I say, we know in His time the work has already been done. These things are just being revealed to us who are stuck here in time. So I just appreciate the Creator for all that He's doing, and I'm just ever thankful. And I yield.
May the Most High be praised. May the Most High be praised. But you got to understand, a lot of the things that we do, everything that we do is by the Most High's permission, by His will, and by His power. You know, it's nothing that we can do of our own. Everything is because the Creator allows it to be. There is so much that we need to do that we haven't been able to do yet, but I know that the Most High will cause it to be. He will cause it to fall in place. You know, so thank you for the acknowledgement. But all glory, all honor, and all praise, we know, goes to the King, the Creator of all creation. But thank you very much.
Okay.
May the Most High be praised. Torah Rabbah. So family, everyone in the audience, this is the time of our day where we acknowledge the Almighty. We like to thank the Most High for what we're thanking Him for, acknowledgments and all that He's done. And if any of you want to come on the platform, we'll post the link in the room, and you can just hit the link and you can come in, or you can type it in the room on the side and we'll read it for you, post it and read it for you. But we encourage everyone that on this time, on this day, acknowledge the Almighty. This is a way, you know how a lot of communities have gotten into the habit that when they start service, they start off with prayer. That's a ritual. It's not a commandment. It's a ritual that we do customarily. We open up with a prayer when we have in our services. We don't do that. We don't follow the traditions of man. We try to run and flee from the traditions of man, because a lot of the traditions of man is what gets you walking into religion. And we don't want to appear to be religious in our actions. So what we do is we have a way when we open up class, how we bring the Most High, usher Him into our presence, is that we acknowledge all that He's done and we thank Him and we glorify Him. And therefore we're bringing Him in. You know, that's what this is all about. This is one of the highest parts of our day, is giving thanks to the King for what He's done in our lives. And we allow everyone to do that individually, publicly, before the family. It's always good when you acknowledge the Most High publicly. And I'm going to tell you one of the reasons why. A lot of times people are going through a struggle in their lives. A lot of times people are suffering, and they suffer silently and don't say anything about it to anyone. And oftentimes, as you acknowledge what the Most High has done for you, you give other people hope. So actually, you're glorifying the Creator in that way. And you're also letting others know of the power and the ability that the Almighty has. We got a young brother that walks with us. I don't want to say his name, but I want to tell you a story. I don't want to tell you his name. So the brother, he hits me a message and he says something about he is thinking about changing his spiritual beliefs, that this may be the wrong way of life for him. And the reason why he says he thinks this may be the wrong way of life from him is because he's a single man. And he says all the Christians around him got wives, all the Muslims around him got wives, but he doesn't have a wife. And it saddens him. It hurts him to his soul. And it brings him pain that for the time that he's been single, he doesn't even have a girlfriend. He doesn't have a wife. He don't have anything. But a girlfriend is out of the equation. You shouldn't be looking for a girlfriend anyway. But the fact is that the brother's saying that he's single. And I understand his pain. I understand what it is that he's going through. But at the same time, you cannot be here for all the things that you desire from the Creator. And then when you don't get the things that you want, you overlook all the things that you needed that He gave you, but you're looking at the particular things that you want out of Him, and he take his time delivering, or it appears as if he's not delivering it at all, that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. That means that you are not here for the right reasons. You're only here to please yourself or to get the things that you feel you want in life. And there's so many Israelites that are like that. They feel like if they're not getting what they want from the Creator, they out, they gone. And they're going to serve another deity to see what they want, what they get, and how they get what they want. Remember last week's class? We read the book of Isaiah 44, I believe it was. And we talked about the children of Israel, how when the prophet came to them and the prophet said, you are sinning against the Creator by worshiping all these deities, that the people left off from worshiping all those deities and started worshiping the Almighty. And they said, we are suffering. But when we worshiped those deities, the Queen of Heaven and all that stuff, we had plenty of everything. But as soon as we stop and we turn in the direction of the Creator, all those wonderful things we had cease. We ain't got no food. We ain't got no houses. We ain't got no wives. We ain't got no clothes. Everything ceased. That luxurious life, it ceased. We'll begin to worship the Creator. That's what they said. And the reason sometimes the Most High causes those things to cease when you turn in His direction is because those things came at a price. And a lot of people don't see this. But those things came at a price, which means when those things came to you, certain energies and certain spirits came along with those things. And in order for you to worship and serve the Creator in sincerity, He has to remove those spirits from you. So therefore, He gives you nothing. It's almost like a fast. It's almost like a physical fast that you do when you restrain yourself from food for a period of time. You go without food just to be strengthened spiritually. So the Most High causes those things to be removed out of your life and takes it out of your area so that you can be built up and be strong before Him. So you have a clean start before Him, and those things of your past, those deities, all that energy, it can be removed out. So we had to go through a process. And we also had a price that we had to pay because of the evils that we did to the Creator by practicing idolatry. And then we're going to invite all that stuff and all those gifts from that false deity into our lives and call it a blessing. It ain't no blessing. It's a curse. I don't care how you look at it. It's a curse. And we have to understand that. We have to understand that. It's a form of delusion. But we can't see because all we see is the benefit that we have from those things. The brother is crying because he don't have a wife. Maybe, as I posted to him, it may be that the Most High is restraining from giving you a wife because you're not ready to improve you, to make you better, so that when he does, he already got somebody in mind, but he knows this is a possibility, that he knows that you would not survive a longevity relationship with this woman because you're not ready up here. So he's teaching you. He's walking you through the process to prepare you so that when he do drop that woman in your life, it will be forever. And it won't be for a week. It won't be for a month. It won't be for 2 days. Like so many Hebrew Israelite relationships are. They don't last. Therefore, you know there was an error. There wasn't a mistake. The average Israelite relationship might last 2 or 3 months. 2 or 3 months. 5 months at the most. 1 year if they're lucky. A lifetime if it's ordained. You understand? There is a difference. So don't always think because the enemy gives you a gift. Because the enemy brings you things and put it in before you, and that oh, I got me a nice wife now. The enemy present them before you, that it's a blessing. Because it's not. It will definitely end up being your ruins and your downfall. But you, as an Israelite, you're not supposed to eat their food. Neither do you accept their gifts. And that's what we do customarily. And we count it as a blessing. as if it's something. I ain't talking about somebody who don't worship the Most High, or you go to the Christian religion and all of a sudden, let me put it in terms so you understand. I'm not talking about if your Christian friend got somebody to bring into your life because they see that y'all both Hebrews. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm talking about how our forefathers did. Our forefathers said that when they worship Satan, when they worship the Queen of Heaven, that all their needs was met, all the gifts they received, the luxurious life they lived. But as soon as they turned to the Most High, they was cursed. And brother, what I'm trying to say to you is, you don't have to have everything in life that you think you need. The Most High will give you what you need to sustain life. He will give you food, clothing, and shelter. He will give you the things that you need in life, not always when you want the things that you desire. And that's the big difference that so many of us are not paying attention to. The king is not here to please you at your beck and call like he's your slave. You're supposed to be his slave. So you have to be patient and let the Most High do his will. You just keep saying to the Creator, this is what I need. This is what I would like. And step off, and he heard you. And as long as you conduct yourself in an honorable fashion and worthy, and you endure the long haul, the Most High will definitely bless you with the things that you're supposed to have in your life. And if you need a wife, he'll give you a wife. If you're not ready for a wife, then there's no need for him to give you one. May the Most High be praised. So let's move on. My apologies, family. Just sometimes people just don't understand how to serve this king. What is the purpose of you being here? To worship and honor him. And then when you don't get everything that you want, I ain't saying what you need. Man, I got a whole lot of things I want. And I ain't got a lot of them. But you know what I got to do? I got to sit back and be patient and grateful for all the wonderful things that I do have. Because it's a lot. It's a whole bunch. It's more than average. Don't we, family? In our own personal lives. Think about it. The Creator has blessed us with so much. And what happens is, when you sit in your little house that's cluttered up with stuff, with junk, and you don't know how to move around in your little house, and you saying, man, I need a bigger house. This ain't big enough for me. I don't want this. I want a bigger house, man. I want you to think about the person who doesn't have the house, who's sleeping in a car, who wishing that they had a house, whether it was cluttered or not, just wishing for something that you have that you don't even appreciate. See, that's what this day is about. So the brother sitting back wishing he had a wife, there's a lot of people with wives that wish they didn't have a wife. Oh man, I can't. I can't. Whoa, no, she got to go. The Creator's trying to keep you from that. And you have to trust in the Most High. But if you're trusting him with the wrong energy, thinking that this is all about you and what you desire, not what you need, but what you desire, then you got the wrong king you serving. So you go ahead over to Christianity, you go ahead on over to Islam, you go ahead wherever you want, because you're not genuinely serving this king in that manner. The Creator don't want nobody like that. He wants you to voluntarily serve him. He don't want to force you to serve him. And he will reward you for your service. This is true. He will reward you for your service. It ain't no problem with that. That's who he is. He's a provider and a protector. That's what he does. But because you feel like he's not moving fast enough for you, you can leave. I would ask that you humble yourself, that you pray and ask his forgiveness for your statement and your mind state. Ask him to have mercy on you and continue to walk even deeper and further in this way, in this truth, in servitude to him, and serve some of his people along the way, and see if he opens up the windows of heaven to you. It might take you, now that you did all that, it might take you 2-3 years before you get a wife. Boy, don't mess with this king, man. He ain't playing. He knows how to get you. But I'm going to be quiet now. Let's give acknowledgments to the Most High, because it's his time. So I'm going to be quiet. Nasik, he's back. Nasik is here. May the Most High be praised. And I hope he's good. Hope he got good signal. Nasik, how you feeling?
אני בסדר, ואתה?
All right. How's your signal?
זה טוב, עכשיו.
All right, all right. Culver City.
Shalom, everyone. If you have not yet to do so, please make sure you like, subscribe, share, hit that reminder button, so you can be reminded of anything, anytime that we go come on. Please, this is the moment where you give honor and praise to the Most High. So if you have not yet done so, please go ahead and share it, and we will post it for everyone to see. As Prince had brought out, you can be helping someone else from your words, giving them the encouragement to do the same, or it might solidify something that they may have been thinking. So please go ahead and give honor and praise to the Most High. We will put the link in the chat so that you could come on if you would like to speak for yourself. You can turn your screen off if you don't want to be seen, or you can show your beautiful face. All right. So here we go. Anybody on the panel that want to say what they're thankful for, please do so. We can go forward. Shalom, shalom, everyone. Shalom, Chief Malak. All right, we have I'm selected. We have Aim Katel. She says, Shabbat Shalom, family. All praises to the mighty one of Israel. Toda for his Shabbat.
Shabbat Shalom, Aim.
The signature, the signature of his set apartness.
Shabbat Shalom, Aim. May the Most High be praised. Come on, y'all. That's Aim. That's Aim that's talking, y'all.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
That's Aim. Come on now. Aim, y'all. Aim. Come on. Y'all know how we do. That's Aim.
We have Chief Malak. He says, Baruch Shemo. Thankful to the Creator for keeping me in the way of living continuous. Baruch Shemo.
May the Most High be praised, Chief. To the Rabbah.
All right, you all. We done climbed up. We done jumped from 14 to 24 right now.
It's a lot above that too, Nasik. I know some commandments up there too.
Let me go up. Some commandments, you say?
Yeah, I seen Sister Sakari posted something up there. I'm not sure what it was. I didn't break it down or anything.
All right, now. Okay. Zakane Sakari says Deuteronomy 6:4-9. Hear, O Yisrael, the Most High is Adonai alone, the Most High alone. You shall love the Most High with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your might. Keep these words that the Most High is commanding you today.
Absolutely. May the Most High be praised. May the Most High be praised. Total Rabbah.
All right. You have anything?
That's a second part.
There, here you can must go.
Shabbat Shalom, Lekulam.
Shabbat Shalom.
Just want to give praise, honor, and thanks to the eternal power for another Yom, more specifically, another Shabbat. I'm so grateful for him bringing us through the week safely. I'm grateful for just being able to experience his compassion and mercy every week. And every time that we make it to the Shabbat, it's significant that he kept us another week to observe his set apart time. So I'm definitely grateful. I'm grateful for life. I'm grateful for my Horim, my parents, my Ab, my Aim. I'm grateful for them coming together. I'm grateful for their purpose. I'm grateful for them coming together and having me. And I'm grateful for everything that they've instilled in me, truthfully. I'm definitely grateful for the pinnacle of family. And the foundation of any home is the mother and the father. And I'm so grateful for that. I'm truly grateful for that. I'm grateful for my Ish, the head of our household. I'm grateful for his love, for his covering, for his protection. I'm grateful for my Beulah family. I'm grateful for the Beulah leaders. I'm grateful. I'm just grateful for another Yom, truly. I'm grateful for the Most High just being ever present with us. And I'll always say this, I'm just grateful for him considering us worthy to follow in his way, his commandments, and his statutes. I'm truly grateful, because if we didn't know his way, what way would we be living? There's so many different ways that we could be right now, so many different situations we could be in, but I'm just grateful that we are here and we are striving to live a set apart life, a righteous life. So I'm super grateful, and also grateful for all the YouTube viewers. I know
And
what it's
Facebook.
like, huh?
And Facebook.
And Facebook. I'm grateful because I know what it's like listening into class and not saying anything but getting what you need. And then I know what it's like to listen into a class and type every now and then and get what you need. So I'm grateful for everyone that's tuning in. And I really, really pray that you get what it is that you need, that the eternal power will fulfill those righteous desires and those questions that you have. So shalom lakulam and barukim habaim. Welcome. Zehi.
All right. May the Most High be praised. Toda Rabbah. May the Most High be praised.
All right. All right. I just want to say, Ishi, or Ishti, I should say, not Ishi. That's his husband. Or her husband. You are a leader as well. So, you know, and within the community.
It's okay for her to love herself.
That's humble.
I said it's okay for her to love herself. She love herself. She said she love all. She thankful for all the leadership in Beulah. So she thankful for herself as well.
Okay. Well, I was going to point out that that's some humility from my point of my perspective, that, you know, always giving honor to others, even before yourself, is a good quality to have as a within leadership, and I think that's something that we all should continue to do. Scripture always says that someone else speak of you, right? So I commend all of those of us that do that and those that are striving to do it. So, Toda Rabbah.
May the Most High be praised. Toda Rabbah. And
All right.
she wasn't just given that, she earned it.
Oh yeah.
She
Okay.
earned it. And that's how we move.
Okay. All right, you all. We have all Most High is first for forever. All praises to the Most High, Elohim, first and foremost. Second, Shalom, happy Shabbat. I love the Most High, Yahweh, with all of my heart and with all of my soul and with all of my might. Devarim, Deuteronomy 10:12.
May the Most High be praised. Toda Rabbah. May the Most High be praised.
All right, you all. This is the time. Don't be shy. It's about 18 of you up in here. It dropped a little bit, but you know, we should get about at least half of that. You know, a little bit more than half leaving the comments, if not all, leaving comments to give honor and praise. What are you thankful for? How often do we give honor and praise to the Most High? You know, sometimes we got to even go over and beyond in that aspect, because a lot of times I teach that we talk to everyone else more than we talk to the Most High.
Yeah, true.
And I don't think that's an assumption. I don't think that's just a belief that I'm saying. I really see that. You know, I see it. Of course, I'm not around you. Of course, I don't know what's in your thoughts, but just ask yourself, how often do you speak with the Most High? And when do you speak with the Most High? Is it only when you need something, when you're hurting, when you're praying for someone? Are you just speaking, communing, talking to the Most High, stand within the word of the Most High daily, which the scripture tells us to do? So take this moment, if you have not, and even if you do, take this moment, give honor, praise to the Most High, you all. Give honor and praise to the Most High. All right. Anyone else present on the panel that haven't went yet?
Kane, I haven't gone.
All right, I'm gonna read this really quick for us. Silkily, Zakena Sakari says, grateful for the love and guidance of the Most High. Then we have Asa Bailey on music. Yehoshua 1-7 says, only be strong and very courageous to do according to all the Torah, which Moshe, my servant, commanded you. Do not turn from it right or left, so that you act wisely wherever you go. Amen. Simply, princess.
Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. So luckily, I'm exhausted. So, but I'm thankful. I'm so thankful and humbled to be here on this Shabbat day It's been a very long week. It started off, we had a great, end of the holy season and going into our week on last Ravi'i, my father's new home arrived, and so that was exciting. It was a long day of prepping for that, getting everything done, running around running errands. Thankful to Benazante Tariq and um, Nasika Muna for being there and helping to prep for that day, getting the things that were needed. I'm so thankful to the Creator just for so much right now. I'm thankful, for my parents. I'm thankful for everything that they have given me and taught me and gone through in this life. I'm extremely thankful for Maish, for him consistently being a great leader, a great husband, just, all around doing the things that are needed, not just for us, his immediate family, but for the nation and the community. And that's a lot of responsibility and a big job. And I'm grateful that he does it, and he does his best, when in all of this. So I'm thankful for that because it also reminds me to, be my best and do my best. I'm grateful, even though the day that the house came and I shared it with my family, everybody was excited. I'm sitting here now in the hospital with my father. The very next day, had to bring him here because he was really feeling down and bad. He had a fever, just a few things that were just unusual. And of course, when we got here, they said he had pneumonia and dehydrated, and the fluids were excessive in his body, which was causing his heart failure to exasperate. So, he is looking better. He's creator willing. He is going to be better, as the Most High see fits. And I'm just thankful to be able to be here. As exhausted I was, honestly, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna, make it and be present, but I'm here, and I'm thankful that Nasika Amuna brought us some things from the land. We're about an hour away from the land. And so I was thankful that they took their time to bring us, the things that we needed here. I'm thankful for my Beulah family, for their support through all of this. I'm thankful for my family. I'm just thankful for all those who consistently keep us in their prayers unto the Creator. And I just pray that, as we continue to grow in this life, that we continue to give ourselves the patience and the time we need to breathe, push forward, take a moment when we need to. And I pray that the Most High continues to guide, shield, and protect us. Say go.
Mhm. May the Most High be praised. Total Rabbah. May the Most High be praised.
All right. All right. And no problem. Ain Baya. Hamid. Nasika. Princess. We will hop up, drop off anytime. All right, you all. Again, this is a time to give honor and praise. Please make sure that you have liked, shared, and subscribed if you haven't yet to do so. And hit that reminder button for yourself. And if you want to come on, please come on. The link is above, so that you can share it with your own words if you like. This is the time. All right. Is there anyone else? I think I might have let. I think everyone went. I think everyone went on the panel. I give you all a couple more seconds before I say anything. All right, I'm going to go ahead and speak. Well, Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shalom.
First, I want to give honor and praise to the Most High, to the eternal power, creator, the sustainer of life, the King of all, my King, for creating me, for allowing another day of life, for creating my aim to bring forth me. I'm grateful for my forefathers and mothers. Very grateful for them, the Most High using them to put forth the literature so it can make it to us today, for us to know who we are today. So I'm extremely grateful for that. I'm grateful for my in-law, an aim in-law. May the Most High bless her memory for producing such a wonderful Isha of mine, who I'm grateful for. The growth that we both are having within our covenant, coming closer to the Most High each and every day, collectively, because individually, very strong, collectively, strong as well. Ministry that the Most High has given me and now us collectively to put forth. I'm very grateful for that. House of Balance, Beth Zion, very needed for our community as Israel as a whole. When you think of relationships in general, man and woman, I'm just grateful for all of those things. I'm grateful for the Torah. I'm grateful for Beulah land, beautiful land that you could come out and you can sit, and just this air is just different from those of you that live in Illinois, Chicago area and city type places. It's just a different thing, quiet. A lot of times we can't hear the Most High because we got so much noise around us, extremely too much noise, from music to TV shows to movies to family and friends and that goes back to what I was saying as far as how much time are we actually spending. And I'm grateful for the Most High revealing that to me years ago, that he's, all these movies that we watch, right? They have what the sound of the voice of the Most High sounds like, or the voice of Satan sounds like, which is like, how y'all, But every time that I open our literature, it's always a small sound, Of course, we got the big thunders and lightning and all that stuff, but a lot of times it's silent, and you gotta dig real deep to hear something that's very silent. That means you have to be attentive and pay attention extremely hard in order to hear it. A lot of times we be wanting to hear from the Most High and we can't because we're saturated with nothing but noise. We're saturated with nothing but noise. So I'm grateful for the Most High revealing that. And I'm grateful for the Most High revealing that to those of you that has been revealed that, There's just so much I am grateful for. And I like that Prince brought out how we're the same people from back then. We wanted to be saved from Mitzrayim. We cried out, the Most High brought Moshe. And yet, as soon as we got out, we started complaining about going back. So, continuing to think of that, we are our forefathers and foremothers. But us looking at our literature should want us to be better, not better as though we feel that we are better than them, but each generation should become better from the knowledge of knowing what transpired before them. So knowing that we read this book, our literature, and we see those complaints and what Prince just brought out earlier, I think that's something that we should really consider. And I'm considering that stuff about myself as well. We just got to look at that and really try to look at them in the mirror. So I'm grateful for the literature. I'm just grateful for being able to be chosen in a sense of knowing who we are. Like, that's amazing when you think about it. It's amazing when you think about who you are now. It's even more amazing when you have a blueprint in front of you. And it's amazing again to know that you can change your own life if you want to. Most High tells us to be ye holy as he's holy. He say, reason with me. Let's reason together. It's amazing to know that the creator, the eternal power, the one that you can't even fathom who he is wanting to reason with you. That's amazing. So I'm just grateful. And with that, I yield.
May the Most High be praised. Total Rabbah. Total Rabbah.
Pass the mic to you, Prince.
Okay. Guess nobody in the audience wants to say anything, huh?
I think we got one again from Elohim is first forever. All praise to the Most High. Elohim first and foremost. Let me pull this up so I can see. I tried telling Israelite male and females don't hate somebody misunderstood. Take the time to see how important they are in Israel.
Good advice. May the Most High be praised.
The Bear Higdalia says, Hallelujah. It sure is a lot of responsibility. And then Ampateh said, yes, the voice within. And he comes again and he says, Sister Madiah mentioned someone in recovery issues of the heart. Sometimes this is junk food related. Explain.
And now stop there. Put that back up for a minute, please. Now, see, I'm going to talk to you. God first and forever. You can approach me any way you want. You can call me Ak, brother, whatever you want. But my wife, you approach her by her title. She worked hard to get that. You approach her by Princess Madiah, not Sister Madiah. Me, you call me whatever you want. Don't matter to me. But I will not allow you to disrespect or offend any of the sisters here. That can't happen. You're a good brother. You offer a lot of information. You're very positive. You show up. You're dependable. But the disrespect cannot go on. You can call me out. You can do whatever you want. You can call me Moray if you want. I don't have an issue with me. But the sisters that's up here, they work hard for the position that they have. And I would only ask that you respect them enough to correct yourself and address them with the proper title that they possess. May the Most High be with you, and I pray that you understand that. Total Rabbah.
All right, you all, before we pass the mic completely to Prince, please make sure that you like, you share, subscribe if you have yet to do so. We're about to go into the lesson. The magicians, the astrologers, the Chaldeans, or the Chaldeans, some people say, and the soothsayers. So set yourself aside, get a pen and paper, and get ready to take some notes, some comments, some questions. Let's go.
Yeah, because we're going to do some traveling. We're going to do some traveling. Things must take place. We have to get it going. All right, here we go. All right. I'd like to thank the Most High. Boy, it's so much to be grateful for. So much. But I thank the Most High for all of you. I thank him for the presence of all of you who have played a part in helping us to be successful as we are. You know, who a lot of the people who give of themselves voluntarily to just see this to even be a place or a thing that they can come to and hear the words and learn about the Almighty. It's a beautiful thing. It truly is. A lot of people might not understand the movements of leadership. It's not for you to understand. And that's where so many people make their mistakes. It's more so for you to trust and obey and do what's being requested of you. I use the word obey. That's right. I use the word obey. A lot of people don't understand that, because when you don't obey your leadership and the movements of your leadership, you go into your own mind. Well, then you shouldn't be with that leadership. Honestly, you shouldn't be. You should only walk with individuals that you can trust. So I thank the Most High for the ability to really be a listener, a hearer, and a doer of his word. I do. Listening means that when the Creator says something for us, we hear it and we do what the Most High requires of us. As leaders, especially when you got multiple men orchestrating and leading a community or a position or a congregation or whatever, Those men have to have conversations. Those men have to be able to talk to each other. And they might not always agree. Most of the time they might disagree. But when they present themselves to the family, they're on one accord and they're moving forward and they're getting it done. That's power. That's might. And that's how we get it done. And I'm thankful to the Creator for people like my brother who stands right there. Well, he ain't right there right now, but he right there right now. For people like that brother, honestly, because he's definitely not a yes man. He don't let you just tell him what you want to tell him and move forward. He's going to challenge you on it. He's going to talk to you about it, but no one would ever know. Because when you do it, you close up and you walk away and we do what we got to do. We might put on some boxing gloves and go into the ring and rumble it up a little bit, but we come out hugging and embracing because that's what it's about. And that's the sign of good leadership. And I thank the Creator for it. I really do. I thank the Almighty for it, because without it, we would all both run off at tangents in our own minds and we wouldn't discipline ourselves and correct our errors. So I'm grateful for it. I thank the Creator for all of you, because all of you have that same opportunity to do the same thing for each one of us. You know, when you see where we fall or we err, we're of the type of mind where we applaud you and we request of you to show us where we can improve and how we can get better. We do this intentionally because we want to be the best there is. We don't just settle for just being another one of the many. We want to be the best at everything that we do, everything we put our hands to. Therefore, we don't accept handouts that's coming from places that it shouldn't be coming from, or things that we shouldn't have just to have them. We don't look for those things. We look to earn, to deserve, and to get what we can get. Anything is a blessing if it can be utilized in the right way and if it's given with the right energy. See, that energy behind that gift is very important. And I thank the Creator for putting it in our spirit to give us the understanding to be able to receive these things. Because we have some people who have stepped up to the plate to offer and to do some things that were needed and is needed, and we're grateful for it. It happens to be in the right spirit, and we understand that, you know. I'm thankful for the eternal power, the Creator of all creation, for some things that He have shown me just the other day in my studies. Actually, it was just this morning in my studies this week. For the last, I would have to say for the last 2 or 3 months, it's like He's been moving my spirit in a different direction to bring about a different form of information to our people. And it's been getting more and more intensified. I had a conversation with Maisha earlier this morning. It's been getting more and more intensified, and I know that is what He would have for me to do. How He wants for me to do it is what He has to explain and show. And once He does, it'll get done. It's going to get done. It's going to move forward. But it's something that we all can benefit, and it's in the service of His people. And that's what we're about, you know, to serve the Most High's people. And we're grateful for that and thankful. So I thank the Most High for protection. And yesterday, I got a phone call from someone, yesterday, I believe it was. They had an accident, fender bender. But I could have been getting a phone call saying something else. Somebody's life was lost. And that phone call would have hurt a whole lot more than a fender bender. I can care less about a fender bender. I know I got to deal with the Europeans when we deal with the fender bender, but that's a minor thing to me. I'm thankful that none of my people was harmed physically, mentally, emotionally. You know, I'm thankful that they're still strong. They're still moving forward, you know, because there are too many times when we travel on these roads and we look to the side and we see a car completely demolished and crushed, and 4 or 5 lives have been taken in that error or that mistake or that accident. So I'm grateful that all I got was a call saying, yo, we bumped into somebody. Somebody bumped into us, and however it was. I'm thankful because I know what another effect of that could have been. May the Most High be praised. There's so much to thank this King for. And I don't even have the opportunity or the platform to thank Him for everything. Let's just be mindful. I do got one more thing that I want to be thankful for. But let's just be mindful of all the things that the Creator does for us that we are able to see and able to comprehend. I called Nasik up this morning. This probably the last thing I'm gonna say today in reference to being thankful. Probably. I'm not sure, but probably. I called Nasik up this morning. I gave him a call and I was talking about a class that I was attending. I heard a brother in one of his classes teaching, and the brother was in his class teaching and was teaching a very, very powerful lesson that sound very, 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 very familiar. And as I watched and I listened, I saw a lot of the points being brought out, that same points that we make about different topics and subjects, or this particular topic and this particular subject were the same points that we referenced just a little while ago. Now, there is such thing as coincidences in the earth when you're dealing with the Most High and you're dealing with his people. But I don't want to deal with the coincidence theory. I want to deal with the theory that somebody was actually listening to the class and went out and then taught their own class about the same thing, but that energy was already embedded within them because they heard a portion of our class. And this is what I want to say. That's not a bad thing. I'm not saying that that brother or that sister was wrong for doing that. I am not saying that, because I would do the same thing. If someone exposes you, this is the whole purpose of us doing what we do every Shabbat day. If somebody exposes you to information that you didn't previously have, and you go research and check that information and you see that it's truth, it's power behind it, then the best thing you can do is incorporate that into your own understanding and bring forth that knowledge into someone else. If whether you're a teacher or a student, it's best that you can incorporate that knowledge within yourself and then regurgitate it in your own way with your own words, the best way you know how, but get that message across. And that way, if that person didn't hear this class, or the students you're listening to, or the teacher that you're talking to, if they didn't hear this particular class, then after listening to you, they heard this particular class. Because we're not looking for glory, and you know, for anybody, oh man, them boy, they the bomb, they the truth, we don't care about that. The thing we care about most is that the teachings are being brought forth in the Israelite fashion unto the earth, so that the people will make the proper adjustments to get themselves in alignment with the Creator. So that's what I'm thanking the Creator for, that I was able to witness the classes that we have being put to work in somebody else's platform. And I think that was a beautiful thing, because that's what this is all about. That knowledge ain't my knowledge. That knowledge belongs to the Creator. He put it in that book. He just used me to reveal it and to bring it forward. It's not that that brother or that sister couldn't bring things on forward of their own. It's just that they had a different insight or a different way of seeing things based on some knowledge or information that they received by coming to our portion. So brothers and sisters, if you're listening now, know for a surety that neither I nor Nasik has any issue with anyone who hears anything that we teach in these classes being utilized somewhere else. Even if you disagree with it and you utilizing it on your platform to tear it down, feel free to do so. We have no issue with it, because if it happens to be that we see that you have put up some information and we disagree with it and you've proven it wrong, then we will go back and change our ways. So we have no problem with that. So I applaud you all. If there's anything that you hear, you see, you disagree with, if you want to post it, post it. If you want to use it, use it. By all means, this is the way it should be done. I can't wait till the day that we stop using God as the Most High. I can't wait till the day comes that Yisrael turns back to the Almighty and stop worshiping these idols and these images, thinking that they're serving the King. I can't wait till that day. And that's all we teach. So may the Most High be with you all. May the Most High bless you all. May the Most High spirit of truth, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding be all over you. May it consume you and totally annihilate you and fill your every loins, your every being, your every essence, to bring you closer to his truth. May the Most High be praised. Toda Rabbah.
All right, you all, we're about to get started.
Well,
Please.
Sister Opal, Sister
Oh.
Opal. Yeah.
All right. She says, Shabbat Shalom, family. Thank the Most High to waking up each day. Thank him I still have my weekend off, my days off was about to change, and thank him for my families, and thank him for joining with you, family.
All right. Shabbat Shalom, Sister Zanta, Sister Opal, Sister Zanta. May the Most High be praised. Shalom, shalom.
Elohim is first forever. Says what happens is the junk food causes clotting in the blood vessels that stops the blood to the heart and then heart problems.
So what he was speaking about earlier was about smoking marijuana and cigarettes and drinking and all those type of things and how it affects the body. And he also speaking about health benefits of some of the foods that we eat, how it poisons the bodies. So that's where he's at right there. You might didn't hear all of the things that he was saying, but that's where he's at. All right.
Says, hey, Prince, let the wisdom be spread.
Absolutely. Total Rabbah. So we're going to get into our lesson today, family. We're going to get into our lesson of the day. All right. Now, in the lesson of the day, you got to have your minds prepared because it's going to be a different type of lesson. No, I mean, it's not going to be completely different, but it's going to be a different type of lesson. You might hear some things and experience some things that you never heard or experienced before, but that would be typical of our classes. I ain't even gonna hold you. That would be typical because y'all know we be digging. We be bringing out some stuff that a lot of people ain't touching on, but that's okay because we're gonna walk together. Let me just set up my screen. All right. Let's travel. Do we have a reader for today? Are any of the readers in the room? Do we have any of the readers in the audience that would like to come onto the platform to read for us today? Do we have any of our readers present, readily available, that can do any of the readings for today? Normally we have two sisters that comes up and do all of our readings. Are any of you sisters available? And if you are, would you be able to read for us today?
If not, I got you.
Okay. It looks like you might have to because I don't, nobody's stepping up. Nobody's even commenting. So let's move forward. Let's rock and roll. All right. Today's lesson is going to come out of the book of Daniels. I'm trying to see whether I should even share my screen. I think I want to. All right. Daniel's, the 3rd chapter. All right. Now I'm going to take some other people away. And we're going to rock and roll. Now, Seek, you going to read?
Okay.
All right. So we're going to start our readings in the book of Daniel's, the 3rd chapter.
You want me to read from the KJV as well?
I want you to read. No, read from another version, if you don't mind.
Daniel, chapter 3, verse 1 says, King Nebuchadnezzar made an image of gold whose height was 60 cubits and his breadth was 6 cubits, and he set it up on the plain of Dura in the province of Babylon. Then King Nebuchadnezzar sent to gather the satraps, the prefects and the governors, the counselors, the treasurers, the justices, the magistrates, and all the officials of the provinces to come to the dedication of the image that King Nebuchadnezzar has set up.
Now let's stop for a second. For those of you who may not know, King Nebuchadnezzar was a Babylonian king. King Nebuchadnezzar was a king that the children of Israel went into captivity under. He put out the eyes of the king. What was his name? Jedediah. I believe he put out his eyes in front of his sons and he did a lot of horrible things. But this king was a serious powerhouse. We served under the Babylonians for 70 years in captivity. That was the longest, at that time, it was the longest reigning captivity we've had, other than what we did in Egypt. That was the longest reigning captivity. We lost a lot of knowledge in that captivity. We lost a lot of the customs and the teachings of our people in that captivity. The culture that we had was rich. And we went into that captivity, a lot of the Babylonian customs and teachings was incorporated into the way that we lived and served the Creator, even till today. When you look into the Tanakh, in the book of Psalms, they have different names of the months. Nisan is the first month. One of them is Nisan, Lul. Those are all different names of the months, and they are Babylonian names, but they're written in our Hebrew Tanakh. They're written because we learned the ways of the Babylonians. We learned a lot of our practices and customs from the Babylonians, like words like Baal. It's a Canaanite Babylonian word, Baal. Let me see, another word that we use, we learned from the Babylonians. There's so many different things, but we did a lot of idol worship. Our people are prone to idolatry, and that's something that is going to be a little difficult to understand for our people, because so many people think that as long as they say the Creator's name and they don't call directly upon another deity by name, that they're not committing idolatry. A lot of our people believe that. But this custom of idolatry was incorporated from our Babylonian captivity. Nebuchadnezzar was one of the greatest kings that lived on the earth. Again, Nebuchadnezzar was one of the greatest kings that lived on. What I mean by that, his kingdom spread from Africa all the way over to Asia, almost in China, it's extended past the Persian Empire. Babylonians was ruled by Nebuchadnezzar, who had an empire that vast from one side of the earth to the other side of the earth. That's a lot of land, and that's a lot of place for a king to rule over. And he did it with no problem. So we're going to read a little bit about this man. I need you to really, really pay attention to what I just described, how big of a man he was, because that's going to give this story of Nebuchadnezzar so much more oomph and so much more power as you're reading and you're understanding why things are taking place the way that they are. Nebuchadnezzar was so powerful, just like a lot of other males get. They get so strong and so mighty in their mind and their position, even when a man first takes a wife. Sometimes a man takes a wife and he feels like he needs to conquer her, which he does. And I'm going to just put it to you straight. He needs to conquer her. Unless she's a virgin and she ain't been touched by no other man, then it ain't too much conquering he needs to do. But if she's not, which most of our women are not today, when they meet a man, if she's not, she needs to be conquered. Why does she need to be conquered? Because the spirit and the relationships that she had with all those other men, or those other men, have come within her, and that's what she knows. That's what she's used to. So if she's had a man that's a lazy man, she's used to having to do all the work. So she'll come in and she'll do all the work. She'll go out, get a 9 to 5. She'll bust her hump to do all that stuff. Well, when she meets a real man, he needs to conquer her and put her in her place of comfort and stability and let her go. A lot of males in this life, when they get in positions, it's okay to conquer. But once you conquer, you got to understand what you're conquering for. A lot of males get in position of power and prestige, and they go overboard with their conquering. Nebuchadnezzar happened to be one of those men. He was used to being on top. He was used to being the man. He was used to being the king. And everything that he said, it stood, it goes, it's written in stone. That's how Nebuchadnezzar was. But what I like about Nebuchadnezzar is that he had the opposite effect as well. He could be humble. where a lot of these males today in their positions, they cannot be humbled. You go against them, it's a sentence of death and destruction. Nebuchadnezzar, he didn't want you going against him. But if you did something and he punished you for it, and then he realized that you were right, he will go overboard and out of his way to try to accommodate and make it right for you, even after you did what you was told to do. This is what I mean by you obeying the voice of your leadership. You have to obey that voice, even if you disagree. You do what's said. You do what's requested of you. And if you feel you cannot trust the voice of your leadership, then it's best that you just go ahead and do your thing and find you another leader that you can listen and obey and follow the instructions of, or become your own leader. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Don't let the world deceive you. You can become your own leader because you know everything. You got the better way. So go do your thing. There's no problem with that either. But with Nebuchadnezzar and his kingdom, he ruled as a king should. But then he went and got above that and started making himself out to be something that he didn't, what he wasn't. He made an image. He had a statue built. And he said now this was a trick that they did all this because these men wanted to accuse Prophet Daniel of some evil and wickedness because he wouldn't bow to the idol. So they made this statue and they said that whenever the chime ring and you hear the musical instruments and the music and the harp and the golden things playing, that you had to prostrate yourself. And when we get to that part, I'm going to elaborate on that a little bit, that you have to prostrate yourself and worship this image, that statue. And that statue was symbolic of Nebuchadnezzar. So therefore, you was actually paying homage to the king. Now, in your homage to the king, the Most High teaches us to respect, honor, and all that stuff to our leadership. But in this form of homage, you were worshiping, and there's a difference. Nobody get worshipped but the Almighty. And in this chapter right here, you're not going to see the full effects of this statue until we get to the next chapter. And what I mean by the full effects of this statue, the full effects of how arrogant and how mighty Nebuchadnezzar got in his own mind. You won't see that to the next chapter. He got so high and mighty in his own mind that the Most High had to humble him, the creator of all creation. So let's read on, please.
Verse 3. Then the satraps, the prefects, and the governors, and the counselors.
I'm sorry, Nasik. Did you read verse 2 already?
Okay.
All right, let's do that again, please. Verse
2. Then King Nebuchadnezzar sent to gather the satraps, the prefects, and the governors, and the counselors, the treasurers, the justices, the magistrates, and all the officials of the provinces to come to the dedication of the image that King Nebuchadnezzar had set up.
The dedication of the image that he set up. Now, everybody knows the word in Hebrew for prince. There's several, but one of them, Nasakim, princes, Nasakim, Nasi, Sar, in a way. There's many different words for princes, but none of those words are present here. This is the word for princes. And I can barely see the word. It looks like it says, Lahi Shadar Rapana. Lahi Shadar Rapana. That's not a Hebrew word for the word prince. What that is an Aramaic word. The book of Daniel was written in Aramaic. If not all, most of it was. It was written in a different language. Yeah, I'm going to bring that out, Ima. I'm going to bring that out now. It was written in a different language. So if you spoke in Aramaic and you said Nasi, they wouldn't understand. Nasi is the root word for Nas, which means miracle. They wouldn't understand that you were talking about a prince. Of course, yeah, a prince would be a miracle, but, that's not what it is. or Nasi would be my miracle. In Aramaic, it probably means something like that. In Hebrew, Nas is miracle. And then Nasi would mean my miracle or miracle of me, but that's your leadership. Well, that's a different story for another day. But it's probably two different words, but they sound good. So let me go in a different way. This book was written in Aramaic, and the words in Aramaic are slightly different, sometimes completely different than Hebrew. A lot of my people, brothers and sisters who believe in the New Testament, this is something that I want to say specifically for you. And I'm going to put it in a manner, and I just want you to do your research or ask yourself why. And this is not to knock or destroy or turn anybody down. This is just for enlightenment, so that maybe you can go question and you can find the answer and you can bring it back. In the New Testament, they teach you that Yahushua, Yeshua, whatever other names they may have for him. I don't know, Jesus, some call him Jesus. Whatever that name is, they teach that his real name is not Jesus. His real name is Yeshua or Yahushua. There's a few others, and I can't remember them all. But I do remember them. If I take the time to think of them, I could think of them. But let's travel, because you're going to miss the gist of my lesson. Let's just use the word Yahushua. It's the simplest for me. Let's use the word Yahushua. To begin, the name Yahushua does not appear anywhere in the New Testament that they can reference. The name Yahushua, or any of the Hebrew names that they have, it's always in the Greek version, the Greek form, and it's always Jesus or Asus. So the closest I know that they have to that is in the Arabic, and the Arabic language calls him Isa. That's the closest I know. Even in the Arabic, they call him Isa, but not Yeshua. But there are words in Arabic that means Savior. So let's move on. So now, when the Hebrew man says that his name is not Jesus because the letter J is only 400 years old, and we know that as a fact. It's only a little older than 400 years, so his name couldn't possibly have been Jesus, but it could have been Jesus, which it could have been because the Yod was present back then. I'm not losing my point. I'm just bringing up some information. You will never find the word Yahushua, Yeshua, or any of those Hebrew words in reference to Yeshua's name in Hebrew, in the New Testament, in the Greek writings. But here's the problem. In the New Testament days, when Yeshua was reportedly living upon the earth, 100 BC until 33 AD, when he was reportedly living upon the earth, our forefathers who lived in Yerushalayim did not speak Hebrew. They wasn't speaking Hebrew. Remember how I told you earlier how when we went into Babylon, 725 BC, somewhere around that area, 7 something BC. We went into Babylon and we served the Babylonians, and we came out with their traditions, their customs, same thing happened in the New Testament time. Our people spoke a lot of Aramaic. The basic language for the Hebrews was reverted back to Aramaic. Do you remember the story when Yahushua was reportedly he was on the cross and he said, Yami, Yabi, Yaba Sepashathai Nai? Remember that he said that? They reported that he said that on the cross. That's Aramaic for Father, Father, why have you forsaken to me? Why have you forsaken me? That's Aramaic. It's on the cross. That's my verification to support the statement and the argument that I'm making. So even in his time of being put to death on the cross, he spoke in the Aramaic language. So that shows you that, yes, Prince, you might be onto something. Yes, they spoke Aramaic in those days. But during our class today, we're going to bring out something. With the word Yahushua, Yeshua being Hebrew, how would that even be a name for somebody in that day and time who was speaking Arabic predominantly as their language? I mean, not Arabic, Aramaic, predominantly at their language. When you look at most of the people, and I'm going to show you how badly it was influencing us, where you could say, well, Prince, we named some of our children Hebrew names today, but we predominantly speak English. Let me share it with you. When you look predominantly at the name of the disciples, you don't see one Hebrew name as the name of any of those disciples. All of the names are Greek names. That shows you how strongly the Greek influenced our people. Matthias, John, Luke. It shows you how, even Saul, it shows you how these Greeks influenced the names of our people or the language of our people. So here's the key clincher that I want to bring to you. And I would like for you to go do your research and find out and help me, correct me to understand what it is that I'm saying that I'm about to explain to you right now. As we read today, we're going to read, and I'm going to point out the issue of the name of Savior or salvation in ancient Aramaic, which was the language of our people at that time. The point that I'm trying to make is, if any of our people wanted to go back to those days and pull out a name for Yeshua, Yahushua, it shouldn't be a Hebrew name. The name that they should pull out should be an Aramaic name, because our people were speaking Aramaic at that time. Therefore, if they wanted to forget the Greek name, which the Greek name is what he was called by, but if they want to forget that and tie it back to our forefathers, then the name that they should go with is an Aramaic name. And that Aramaic name we'll pull up a little bit later, but it's not Yeshua or Yahushua. It's a different name. But I'll pull it back up to you because I don't want to butcher it. I was trying to remember it, but I don't want to mess it up. Let me see if I put it in my notes. I don't want to mess it up, and I don't want it not to be what it is that we need for the people. Yeah, I didn't put it in my notes, so I don't want to speak on it yet. But when we get to that portion, we're going to pull it out so that you will know, and I need you to write it down so you can go to your scholars and your teachers so that they can explain to you why that name is not being used instead of Yeshua or Yahushua. One of the points you got to keep in mind is that Yeshua or Yahushua does not appear in the New Testament at all. Nowhere in the New Testament. So they have to give him that name and have to make up that name because of what they say he did. But if he spoke Aramaic, then he should have a completely different name. And Yeshua and Yahushua is not neither one of those names. So this is for all my people who really understands what the New Testament, and you live by the New Testament, you accept the New Testament. This is something for you to reference. And I bet you some of the scholars on here that's into the New Testament, they doing their homework already. And they doing a research to find out what it is that I'm talking about so they can present it. Because it's very important that you understand what it is that you believe to be right. All right? So if you understand it, then you should fill your mind with all the knowledge so you can bring it forward. Then the princes and the governors and the captains and the judges, the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the province was gathered together unto the dedication of the image. So they made this big statue. And they had a feast. They had a ceremony. And they worshiped it. This big image, this statue. So what they was really doing that a lot of people are not paying attention to is they was paying homage to a man. One of the commandments that the Creator have in the book of Exodus, the chapter is 20. And it's verse 1. It says, It says, Wayidaber Elohim ekol hadibarim ha'ele lemor. Anoki yotze Elohecha. Lo terzak, Thou should not take any images, temuna, that is under the heavens, above the sun, under the sun, in the earth beneath. Thou should not worship them. That's what it says. Okay? Lo ta'ane bereka ad shakir. Lo takmo bereka, that's near the end. So there we go. So you should not make any images for you to bow down to. Well, Prophet Daniel and the 3 men that walked with him all had a problem with that. But the people who made up and gave him this ideal understood that they would have a problem with it. So they set it up, and they had a dedication, they had a big feast, and they brought all the important people out so that they can recognize this and pay homage and honor to Nebuchadnezzar through this image. Let's read on, please. Verse 4.
Verse 4. I think we're in verse 3. You had me read verse 2 over.
Yeah, I just read verse 3. But
Let's
if
see.
you don't mind, it's cool. If you want to read it again, you can.
All right. Then the satraps and the prefects and the governors and the counselors, the treasurers, the justices, the magistrates, and all the officials of the provinces gathered for the dedication of the image that King Nebuchadnezzar had set up. And they stood before the image that Nebuchadnezzar had set up.
They stood before the image, paying homage to this image. What was it? It was established by a man. Therefore, that image was an idol. That image that they set up and they worshiped, once they worshiped it, it became an idol. Read on, please.
And the herald proclaimed aloud, "You are commanded, O peoples, nations, and languages, that when you hear the sound of the horn, pipe, lyre, trigon, harp, bagpipe, and every kind of music, you are to fall down and worship the golden image that King Nebuchadnezzar has set up."
Now watch this. I'm gonna read something. I'm gonna share something with you. I'm sure you didn't even pay attention to this, but we're gonna dance on it just for a minute. Verse 3. Then the governors, the captains, the judges, the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the provinces. What was the provinces of Nebuchadnezzar? The provinces of Nebuchadnezzar went from Africa to Asia. Those were the provinces of Nebuchadnezzar. So he wanted all of the people in his provinces under his command that when they hear this music, they will humble themselves. Do y'all understand where I'm at so far? So you know what that meant? Back in ancient Israel, we used to follow the new moon. The majority of us, all of us actually at one time. But Israel was spread out all over the land. But the issuance of serving the Creator by keeping the new moon was done by the high priest, who would go up on the hilltop of the mountain. And when they saw it, the new moon, the first slither of the crescent moon, when they saw that moon, what they would do, because you can only see the moon, this first crescent of the moon, as the sun goes down. So when they saw that first slither of the crescent moon, what they would do is they would light bonfires. And when one city see the bonfire, they light the bonfire. Another city see the bonfire, they light the bonfire. And therefore, all the lands of Israel, no matter where you were, they knew that it was the first day because those bonfires was lit and it was going off and everybody did it at the same time. So that will go all the way out to wherever our people were. They would see the bonfires lit because it would be one after another, after another, after another, all through the land. Same thing was done with the music, the harps, the psalm trees, the sackcloth, the sackbucks, the bucklers, and all the musical kinds. You shall fall down and worship the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar, the king, had set up. So wherever you were, from Africa all the way up to Asia, where this man ruled all this power, at a certain time, he will stop the show everywhere by setting off this music instruments to go off everywhere. And when you heard all this music, you will play your music. And then the next town will play their music. And it will go on down the sequence until all the people, this is how big it was. This is how powerful it was. That's why he went out and got the princes, the governors, the captains, the judges, the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of his providence. He brought them all together in one place to worship him, so that when they would go back to their own destination, they would know what to do when they heard that music. Read on, please.
Verse 6. And whoever does not fall down and worship shall immediately be cast into a burning fiery furnace. Therefore, as soon as all the peoples heard the sound of the horn, pipe, lyre, trigon, harp, bagpipe, and every kind of music, all the peoples, nations, and languages fell down and worshiped the golden image that King Nebuchadnezzar had set up.
All right, hold on. What verse you on now? You lost me.
That was verse 7.
All right. And whosoever falleth not down in worship shall the same hour be cast into the midst of the burning fiery fire. So wherever they were, if the people, when they heard this, did not do what was commanded by the king, they were cast in the pit of a fiery furnace. Therefore, you read 7 already?
Okay.
Therefore, at that time, when all the people heard the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackcloth, psaltery, and all the music, all the people, the nations, and the languages, they fell down. Now, the languages shows that they're traveling from place to place. You know, people speak different languages in different parts of the earth, and worship the golden images that Nebuchadnezzar, the king, had set up. They did what he said for them to do. But you know who didn't do it? The Hebrews, the Israelites that was about the Most High's business. We couldn't do it because we knew that it was idolatry, and we did not practice idolatry. Now, what they did was they worshiped multiple deities, and you'll see emphasis that I'm going to bring out through this lesson where they worship gods, and you'll see that. And part of the reason why we're doing this lesson is to bring out that part about gods. And let's read on, please.
Verse 8. Therefore, at that time, certain Chaldeans came forward and maliciously accused the Jews. They declared to King Nebuchadnezzar, O king, live forever. You, O king, have made a decree that every man who hears the sound of the horn, pipe, lyre, trigon, harp, bagpipe, and every kind of music shall fall down and worship the golden image.
Now stop for a second, please. It says, wherefore at that time certain Chaldeans came near and accused the Jews. In Hebrew, it says something slightly different. Now, what it does say is Yahudim, but it's a different word here that they use for Yahudim. And here's the word here, right here. Can y'all see that word right there? Yahudah. That's the word that they use for Yahudim in Hebrew, but Yahudah in Aramaic. Okay? So they accused the Yahudim. So why did they accuse the Jews? Why was that? Why don't it say they accused the Israelites? Why don't it say they accused the Hebrews? It says they accused the Jews. Why? Because Babylon had went into Jerusalem, Jerusalem, not Israel. Remember, the two kingdoms were split. But Nebuchadnezzar went into Judah and took all the Judites out. And most of the people of Judah, he took them out and brought them back to Nebuchadnezzar in his land. And this is where how Daniel, Meshach, Abednego, and the other brother, whatever his name is, I forget his name right now. Meshach, Abednego. Shadrach, yes. We'll see where he brought them into his land, Babylon, from Judah. And all the inhabitants that they brought were from Judah. They weren't just Israelites, they was Judites of the tribe of Judah. He had some Levites mixed in there, but Daniel himself, they were the echelon of the tribe of Judah. They were young boys, but they were learned in all manners of knowledge. They were very intelligent. So Nebuchadnezzar brought them close to himself. Any great leader is going to take people with knowledge and bring those people close to himself, because that makes him better. That gives him more of an ability to rule his kingdom, because he can place it into the hands of mighty men. I got a lesson that I was preparing this week. That was supposed to be in a day's lesson, but then this one came to me, so we're going to do this one. But I had a whole lesson about mighty men that I got down here on my board that I was going to jump into and do the lesson on. But this one was more powerful, and I needed to bring it forward until that lesson is perfected. But a great man, a great leader who sits on the throne should always surround himself with capable, mighty men, just as Nebuchadnezzar did. And any man that's looking for a wife should surround himself with Nashim that are capable and great. You don't want to be married to a woman you got to wrestle with, you got to struggle with. And women, you shouldn't be struggling with your husband. It ain't going to be a walk in the park, but that conquering must take place in your spirit. You have to allow yourself to be conquered, but you have to trust enough that the man that you're allowing to conquer you is a creator-fearing man who will not abuse you, who will not hurt and harm you intentionally to destroy you or to bring you down or to hold you back, but yet a man who will take you and lift you up. Now, if you sneaking around and doing things, you don't trust in that man. Then you don't need to be with that man if that's what you're doing. If you don't have trust in your leadership, then you don't need to be with that leadership. You have to know that when your leadership gives you a command, you do it, you obey it, and you walk with it wholeheartedly. That's the kind of king Nebuchadnezzar was. And that's what this lesson is going to bring out. Read on, please.
Verse 12. There are certain Jews whom you will have appointed over the affairs of the province of Babylon.
He did what? Hold up. What did he do?
You have appointed over the affairs of the province of Babylon.
And they were Jews. They were Jews. And the other people who were Babylonians had a problem with that because the Jews was raised up higher than them in prestige. They didn't like that. And they had an issue with that. They're going to make that known. So therefore, they set a trap for these Jews because they knew that these Jews, these Yehudim, that Yahudon, they knew that they wouldn't worship anybody other than the Almighty. So they said, let's set up this image. That's how we can trap them. Let me tell you something, family. You have deceivers in your very midst that seek to bring you down, that seek to destroy you. And the closer you draw to the Most High, the more they come up with tricks and conniving plans to try to hold you back from worshiping this king in sincerity. Now, these deceivers don't necessarily know that they're being used because it's not them themselves, it's the spirit that governs them. And that's what it is. The spirit that governs them infiltrates them and causes them to work against that spirit of the Almighty that resides within you. So these people, they shared because they were leadership as well. They were leadership as well, but they despised the Jews. And the only way that they can get the Jews out of that position was to try to get the king to remove them because it was the king who appointed them. But watch, they held one position right now. They held one position. They was on this level. And those other people might have been on this level. So they was all equal, but they was jealous. They was envious. They was spiteful. And they were filled with wickedness. So they had to remove those who opposed them and take over their positions by bringing accusations against them. So they devised a plan to cause that one to fall, or those three to fall. And watch what takes place.
13. Then Nebuchadnezzar in furious rage commanded that Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego be brought. So they brought these men before the king.
All right, let me read this. Let me read this for sir. 1 second, please. 12. There are certain Jews whom thou have set over the affairs of the province of Babylon. That means over a section, one of all the area that you own, one of those sections, you have certain Jews who reign over it. But they not Babylonian. They're Judites from the land of Israel, from Judah. They're not Babylonians. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they call them out by name. It says, these men, O king, watch what they said. These men, O king, have not regarded thee. They didn't respect you. Now, as a king, you can't have people walking around not respecting you, right? Is that right, family? You know why it's right? Because if one shows disrespect to you, then eventually another's going to show disrespect to you. And then eventually it's going to be contagious, and many are going to be showing disrespect to you. Therefore, you ain't going to be king for long, because somebody's going to get up enough courage and they're going to try to kill you. And they're going to knock you off. So therefore, if someone shows disrespect to the king has to destroy that person so that the next person look at that and say, oh man, why he died? Because he disrespected the king. Ooh, I ain't going to disrespect the king. And that's how a king remains a king. You can't walk around because you feel a certain way disrespecting the king, because your life will be lost. So therefore, they said they have no regards for thee. Then it says, they serve not thy gods, plural, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. Why they mention that they don't worship your gods? See, that's important to them. They don't worship your gods. What that got to, he never said anybody had to worship his gods, but yet they brought it up because this is a spiritual war. Y'all keep looking at the physical. This is not just a physical war, it's a spiritual war. Way back then, it was a spiritual war. Their gods was a spiritual thing. And because they worshiped the Almighty and they didn't worship the gods of Nebuchadnezzar, they had a problem. So I want to bring reference to this, family. Look at this right here. This word is the word for gods, okay? This word in the last ending, it shows you or your, okay? The word in its root form is Allah. Allah. That's the Aramaic word for Elohim, Allah. And is also the root word. Aloha is the root word in Hebrew, but in Aramaic it's Allah, A-L-H. To pluralize that, the gods. The La is the, Elohim, Elohika is the pluralization and a direct article of your gods. Okay? So that's what they're saying. They're not worshiping your God. Let's stop right there for a minute. Because they're not worshiping your God, they got to be destroyed. First part was they disrespect you. Second part is they disrespecting your gods. They're not worshiping your gods. Why is Israel in the frenzy that Israel is in today? Because we don't all worship the same power. We don't. It's just that simple. A lot of people want to incorporate things in the worship of the Almighty. And a lot of people want to say, hey, listen, I'm not going to associate myself with them because they're practicing idolatry. They believe that that man is God. This is a serious issue in Israel today. It's a serious issue that needs to be addressed. This issue goes way back to the Babylonian days. Those men tried to bring wrath against 2-3 innocent men by saying, first they disrespect you, O king, and then they didn't worship your gods. God, idolatry, God worship is very important, but Babylonians worship multiple deities, not the creator, but multiple deities. So at this time, the mind state of Nebuchadnezzar, well, he was a pagan. He worshiped multiple deities. That's what he did. Now let's move on. Let's see how they figure this out. Where we at in 12, right? And they serve not thy gods. Now, they didn't worship, they didn't honor him, they didn't serve his gods, nor worship the golden calf image that thou hast set up. Why was it important that they worship the golden calf image that Nebuchadnezzar set up? Because that shows obedience to the word of the king. You don't want to defy the word of the king openly and be taken out or unrevealed to be someone who don't respect his authority. You don't want to do that. That's what happened. They didn't worship the golden image, so therefore they disrespected him. They don't worship their gods, and they pay no homage to him. So they had all kind of issues and problems that these men could accuse them of. So they did so, brought him to the king, brought the three of them to the king, and this is what took place. Read on, please.
14. Nebuchadnezzar answered and said to them, "Is it true, O Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, that you do not serve my gods or worship the golden image that I set up?"
He asked them, he said, "Is it true that y'all don't do this?" But the thing that he brought up was something different. He didn't say me. He didn't even mention honor me. He said, you don't worship my gods, and you don't worship the image that I brought up. If they didn't worship his gods and they didn't worship his image, then they didn't worship him. So he didn't need to say that. Watch how it all ties together. Read on, please.
Now, if you are ready, when you hear the sound of the horn, pipe, lyre, trigon, harp, bagpipe, and every kind of music, to fall down and worship the image that I have made, well and good. But if you do not worship, you shall immediately be cast into a burning fiery furnace. And who is the power or mighty one who will deliver you out of my hands?
Now watch this one. Who is the God that will deliver you out of my hands? All right, let's see what it says. And when you get a chance, family, you might want to look into this all on your own, just to edify yourself and make your mind strong, because it's good information, good knowledge. Who is the God? And the word for God here is what? Allah. Allah. A-L-H. Now, this is Aramaic. Prince is not making this up. Who is the God that you are supposed to serve? Who is going to save you? What deity is going to bring you? What deity is going to save you from my hand? That's what he's asking. Read on, please.
16. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we have no need to answer you in this matter.
Now watch this for a second. Before you read on. How many of us will be in a position where our lives would be at stake, our very lives would be at stake, and we would cover up what we understand to be true just to spare our lives? How many of us would do that? There's a whole lot of us. How many of us, now, I mean, imagine the intensity of this conversation right now. The guards come out, they come to your house, bang on your door. Somebody come to your house right now, 15 cop cars outside of your door, banging on your door. When you come to the door, answer the door, they put you in handcuffs and shackles and bring you down to the courthouse and say, did you worship these gods? Yes or no? Because it's been reported to us that you didn't serve these gods. And you say, oh, I suppose to worship. Oh, all right. I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to get put in the fiery furnace. I don't want to get put in the pit. I don't want to be killed. Now, I say that today, and you think in your mind that the chances of that happening today is not possible. But I'm saying to you that it is. I'm saying to you that it's really possible today, in this day and time that we live in today, because things are changing. In the ancient days, our forefathers experienced just that, where evil people will come to our homes and try to destroy us and annihilate us just because the principles of our beliefs. They will do that to you today. They will try to hold you back from development today. My wife has been running for a position with the county commissioner's office in the county where she lives. And for some reason, some strange reasons, they keep giving her paperwork that does not line up with what the requirements are asking her to fill out in order to maintain that position or to get elected in that position. Why is that possible? When she's getting the paperwork from the people who hold the elections. Why are they giving her the wrong paperwork? And then when time runs out, they come to her and say, hey, listen, you filled out the wrong paperwork. Why are they doing that? She don't supposed to know what she's supposed to fill out. She's going by what they say. Listen, it's because people believe differently than what you believe. And the effects of people's belief governs their actions a lot of times. And this thing is real. It's happening right now in this day and time, right before your eyes. But a lot of us are so asleep that we don't begin to understand that people can hate you. You think it's all gullible and lovely because everybody likes you, and they don't. They will smile in your face and hate you behind your back. And then their hatred behind your back happens to catch up to you, and they annihilate you and destroy you and hold you back from getting what you desire in righteousness. Sometimes it might even cost you your life because we have a differences of opinion of religion. So let's read on, please.
17. If this be so, our God, whom we serve, is able to deliver us from the burning fire. Wait, can I read that over? If this be so, our Elohim, whom we serve, is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of your hand, O king.
If this be so, the Elohim that we serve will deliver us out of your hands. Out of your hands. If this be so, the Eloheinu, and what they actually says was our power, Eloheinu, our power will deliver us from your hands. Read on, please.
18. But if not, be it known to you, O king, that we will not serve your gods or worship the golden image that you have set up.
Now stop for a second. They say, and I want you to notice, oh king, we will, if our power does not, then we will not worship your gods. No matter what, we will not worship your gods. Why did I bring that up? Because as I started earlier, when I was thanking the Creator, I mentioned a brother who he wanted a wife, but he felt like the Creator wasn't working fast enough to give him a wife, so he wanted to go worship gods and deities and those images that people make with their hands and worship. He said maybe this is not the right life for him. Maybe he needs to be worshiping someone else. Our forefathers here of Yahudah, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they said, on the risk of losing their very lives, we will never serve another. If the Creator doesn't come through for us and save our lives and deliver us out of the fiery pit, we will never go serve another power. But this brother is saying he's willing to go serve another power just because he don't have a wife. And he's been asking for a wife. What does that say about his faith, his trust in the Almighty? It's very weak, very shallow. But there are so many of us like that today who are very similar. You can hear this story because you got your wife or you got your husband, and you'll say, yeah, Prince, he's shallow. But remember that time when you didn't have some of the things that you desired in life, and it looked like you wasn't getting those things, and you yourself slowed down on your performance and coming to class and worshiping the Almighty and being the righteous individual by keeping the laws like you were supposed to be, you yourself slowed down some. Matter of fact, a whole lot. And you started instigating, meaning you started looking at husbands of other nationalities. Or you started looking at husbands of different ways of life, which means Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, Hinduism. And you filtered in your mind and said, well, it don't make a difference what they believe as long as they treat me right. Remember you did that in your spirit, in your mind? Remember you did that for a period of time? You did that too. A lot of us are guilty of these things, thinking that we can change somebody else once we get them, but that ain't going to happen. More than likely, you're not going to be able to change them. So you yourself has been tested by the fire. These brothers have to be tested by the fire on the stake of losing their lives, and they remain loyal to the Most High El Shaddai El Elyon, Yotzeh, creator of all creation. They remain faithful and loyal to the King, the creator of all creation. at the sake of losing their lives, they would not worship another. But here you are saying, I'm tired of being lonely. I ain't got a job. I need a job, Creator. You ain't bringing me a job, so I got to go and do something else. Here you are saying, Creator, I ain't got nothing to eat right now. I know you fed me last night, but this is a different night, and I'm hungry right now, and I ain't got no food in my house, and I ain't got nothing, no stashed away in my car or anything, and I got to go to work tomorrow morning. But Creator, you not feed me tonight, so I'm going to go call in the hotline and pray to Jesus or somebody else, or Buddha or Allah or somebody else. I'm going to leave you, Creator, and I'm going to go do this. That's a problem. You know what the Creator would do and say most of the times in those instances? He will say, be it unto you as you will, and he'll let you go. And then he'll give you over to the consumption of those things. And then your life will give you the appearance that you're receiving everything that you've ever wanted. And then bang, there's that one day where you realize the mistake that you made, or he may destroy you in your sin. You never know. We don't know. All I know is this king is merciful. And I would pray that if any of us have ever fallen victim to our own desires and placed them before our servitude to the king, I would only pray that he would have mercy and restore our right minds to us before he destroyed us, so that we can make it back to him and make that change to correct our errors. I pray that that would happen to us. There are a lot of people who walk away from the Almighty in search of their own desires and their own pleasures, believing that this is a physical thing that we're into, but it's a spiritual one as well. Read on, please.
19. Then Nebuchadnezzar was filled with fury, and the expression of his face was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Why did he change the expression of his face? Because he didn't expect this to be true about his servants. He said, there's no way Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego is going to disrespect me. They said to the king, no matter what happens, king, no matter what happens, we are not going to leave the Creator under any circumstance. He said, well, even if I told you to, even if you told us to. And that displeased him. His expression changed. Therefore, read on, please. Therefore,
he ordered the furnace heated 7 times more than it was usually heated.
What did he do? He said, oh, yeah, that's what you're going to do? Burn that fire way hotter than what it's supposed to scorch them through and through. That's what he thought. But when he did that, he actually prepared something that the Creator put in his spirit to do. Sometimes, family, people think they're preparing a trap for you. Sometimes, family, people think they're coming against you to hurt, to harm you, and they end up hurting and harming themselves. Way worse than what they intended to do to you. Remember those people who accused them of all this evil? Yeah, watch this. He's going to go out, Nebuchadnezzar going to go out and get some strong men, bold and courageous men, to bring Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego into the fiery furnace. I mean, so you know it was like a struggle to get them there, right? He had to get strong men to do so. Watch this. Watch what happens. Read on, please.
20. And he orders some of the mighty men of his army to bind Shadrach.
The mighty men, to bind them, tie them up, grab them, bring them in, and watch what happens.
And to cast them into the burning fiery furnace.
Now, did you notice that they was bound? Bound means hand tied, feet tied, and bounding you up, subduing you, taking control over you, and threw them in the furnace. Watch this.
21. Then these men were bound in their cloaks,
their coats, their hosen,
their hats, and their other garments.
And their other garments. So this showed that these men was decked out. They were dressed nice. Their pants wasn't sagging off their butt. No, they was dressed nice. They had hats on their head, some type of hats like these here. They still dressed in culture. Even though they was in Babylon, they still wore what we wore as a customs of our people. Now, I'm exaggerating this point a little bit. Don't hold me to it too much. But I'm exaggerating just for the enlightenment of our people today. How many of us even wear culture? How many of us wear kufis on our head, fringes on our garments, on our clothes? How many of us even wear a ketoni, a long shirt to cover your loin parts? How many of us dress culturally today? And if you don't do it during the week, how many of us even do it on the Shabbat? These things are important when you're distinguishing yourself as a people. They have an effect on your mind as well as your body, and as well as how others may view you. Remember that. Read on, please.
And they were thrown into the burning fiery furnace.
Did they walk into the fiery furnace?
Thrown.
They was thrown into the fiery furnace. So they was bound. They was tied up. And the strong men picked them up and threw them in the furnace. They bound them in the furnace, in the fiery furnace, all three of our brothers, our forefathers, all three of our people. They was tied up and thrown with their hats and clothes on them. They said, don't keep nothing of them. Throw them all in there. And that's what they did. But watch what happens when they threw us in the fiery furnace.
22. Because the king's order was urgent and the furnace overheated, the flame of the fire killed those men who took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
What happened? The flame of the fire did what to those men, those strong, mighty men?
Killed those men.
Consumed them. It burnt them up. Why? Because Nebuchadnezzar, trying to punish those three righteous servants of the Creator by heating the furnace 2-3 times as hot, he didn't realize that his own men couldn't withstand the fire of the furnace. So these men opened the door and threw the three righteous men in there, but the fire came out and consumed them, scorched and burnt them up alive. Nebuchadnezzar saw this with his eyes. He witnessed this, that fire was so hot. He knew nobody could survive because his own men who were standing outside the furnace got burnt up by the flames that came out of the furnace. Y'all got to pay attention. Some powerful things are taking place right now. That furnace was so hot that when they opened the door and threw the men in, the fire shot out. And when the fire shot out, it was so hot that it killed those men that was known as mighty men of his army. It consumed them. It burnt them up. And watch this. Read on, please.
23. And these three men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell bound into the burning fiery furnace.
So they fell down, bound, tied up. They was tied up inside the fiery furnace, and they survived. But that same furnace consumed the evildoers. Sometimes people think they're doing harm to you by the traps they set for you. But those same traps that they set for you take an effect on them. Be patient and watch. The Most High reveals all. Read on, please.
24. Then King Nebuchadnezzar was astonished and rose up in haste.
He was astonished.
He declared to his counselors, did we not cast 3 men bound into the fire?
Oh, wait. Didn't we just throw 3 men into the fire? Yeah, we did, King. Why, King? Why?
They answered and said to the king, true, O king. He answered and said, but I see 4 men unbound, walking in the midst of the fire.
He said, yeah, we threw 3 in, but I see 4 abound in the midst of the fire. But not only did he see them up walking around and talking and chilling in a place that was meant for their destruction, he saw an additional person in there with them. An additional individual. And let's see what that individual is and who he is and how he moves. And what it says.
And they are not hurt. And the appearance of the 4th is like a son of the gods.
There you go. That's the part I wanted to bring out. You know, people take this story and say that the individual is like the Son of God. And you know who they relate to, the Son of God, as if it's that one individual in the Greek writings. But what you got to understand, family, is that these are people who practice idolatry. So when you referencing the Almighty, they're not referencing the Almighty. They're saying the sons of gods. Well, who are the sons of God as they know it to be? Gods, not the creator, but gods. Who are the sons of gods? See, that's something for you to look at, because a lot of us don't understand what's really being said. A lot of us don't understand. The creator, if this was the Most High tells us who is his son, Israel. But also, where is Israel from? Israel, the nation of Israel, our people, pre-existent this life on this planet. So many people don't understand that. What I say this war was, this isn't a physical war only. This is also a spiritual war. And if you believe that when Jacob wrestled with the angel, he received his name Yisrael, and that was the beginning of the Yisrael people, then you're mistaken, because that wasn't the beginning of our people. Our people were before the creation of this earth. Matter of fact, our people, the nation of Israel, as some would say it, are Elohim. Not the Elohim, not Ha Elohim, but Elohim. Elohim is compiled of the children of Israel and servants of the Most High, like the Malachim, like the angels in the heavenly hosts. A lot of people don't understand these things. So when it says that, and one of them is like the Son of God or gods, all it's saying is that they're like angels. And these angels, as we know, take on physical forms. And we know that the angels of the Most High, or the Malachim, they are the servants of the Almighty. And the Most High, as we know, has established us to be Elohim in the earth. So what they're saying is that there's another one of them in that fire, and we didn't put them there. How'd he get there? A lot of things people don't understand is this. And I'm going to take you on a little strange place that you might not be so used to traveling to. But if you don't believe me, you can always go look it up. Somebody else tell you, you might believe it and accept it. But when Prince tell you, you might have a little difficult time believing it. So let Prince tell you, and then you go back and you research and you look it up. Everything in existence is governed by an Elohim. Everything in existence has life. Everything in existence has a spirit. Everything. Fire, the word Aish is fire in Hebrew. Fire is governed by a spirit. That spirit is a servant of the Almighty. Aish is the word in Hebrew for fire. Everything in existence has a governing spirit. That governing spirit commands that particular thing under the auspice of the Almighty, under the power of the Creator. He's given that spirit, that energy, command over that particular thing. So what they will be seeing is an Elohim walking in the midst of the fire with those three men. Those three men themselves are Elohim because they are the children of Yisrael. And a lot of people are going to have a problem with what Prince is saying. So Prince is going to take you somewhere and show you what he's saying so you don't have to argue with him, okay? Just so that there don't have to be no fuss, no fight, and we don't have to disagree. This is Psalms 82. And we all know that the entire Bible was written to the children of Israel. We all know that. So a lot of the references, when you hear, when you read, you will know and understand that the Most High is talking to the children of Israel. Psalms 82. It says, Elohim, and you know that Elohim will be in reference to the Almighty, standeth in the congregation of the mighty. He judges among the Elohim, among the gods, among Elohim. It says, how long, and that gods is a lowercase gods, just so you understand the flow of what's going on in the English language. He says, how long will you judge unjustly and accept the persons of the wicked? Selah. Who is he talking to? He's talking to us, the children of Israel. It says, how long will you judge unjustly and accept the persons of the wicked? Selah. What you're supposed to be doing is You're supposed to defend the poor and the fatherless. You're supposed to do justice to the afflicted and the needy. We are supposed to help people. We are supposed to deliver the poor and the needy, rid them out of the hands of the wicked. That's our purpose on the earth. You find that purpose in our book of Isaiah, chapter 42. You'll find that purpose. Then it says, they know not, neither will they understand. It says they walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. They know not. Who knows not? We don't know. We don't, man, so many, believe me, only a fraction of Israel have woken up today. There are so many more of us who don't know who we are, don't know our rightful positions in this earth, don't know that this earth has been given unto us to rule and reign as an inheritance from our Father. So many of us don't know that. It says they know not, neither will they understand, which means that a lot of them are going to die in their ignorance. Neither will they understand. It says they walk on in darkness. When you pray to the Most High, ask the Most High to show you his light so that you are not walking in the darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. All the foundations of this earth, every established government in this earth is the foundations that hold up the people in the earth. And all these foundations are out of course. All of them. Until we take our rightful place and rule this earth in righteousness, justice, truth, then this whole earth is going to be, the whole foundation of it is going to be out of course. Now, this is the Most High talking. He said, I have said. Who said? The Creator said, ye are Elohim. You are gods. And all of you are children of the Most High. Wait a minute. All of who are children? He ain't talking to the whole earth. He's talking to the children of Israel. He said, I have said, ye are gods. And that's why you don't understand, because you're walking on in darkness. You're walking in darkness. You can't see. You don't know unless you have somebody to come and enlighten you like we're doing today. We are enlightening you to your true nature, to who you are as a people. So when the book of Daniel says the sons of God, one of them was like the son of God, he only talking about you in your rightful state with truth and power. He says, verse 7, but ye shall die like men. So if you're going to die like a man, that means you're not a man. And you're going to fall like one of the princes. You're going to fall like the chiefest of them. But then he gives you a hint. Arise, O Elohim, and judge the earth, for thou shalt inherit all nations. Arise, Kuma Elohim. Arise, Elohim, Shabta, judge Haaretz, Ki, for Ata, you, Tignikal, Bekoil, Ha, Goyim. Whoa, I never even knew that was there. What that says is, arise, Elohim, arise, O Elohim, and judge the earth, for you shall inherit all the people, all the nations, all Goyim. I never even knew that was there. Thank you for taking me there, Creator. Thank you so very much. Wow. So now you see, family, this ain't no great big mystery like they want you to believe it is. That ain't what we doing. That ain't how we living. Arise, O Elohim, and judge the earth, for thou shalt inherit all nations. So one of them was like the son of Elohim. It was an angel. It was a messenger of the Creator. And you always want to give glory and honor to somebody else except yourselves. Read on, please, Nasik. Take us back.
26. Then Nebuchadnezzar came near to the door of the burning fiery furnace. He declared, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Now, this was the same man, excuse me, Nasik. This was the same man who said, throw them in the fire. Burn them up. Why? Because they wouldn't worship my gods and they wouldn't honor me. Throw them in the fire. Let them be consumed. But remember, his heart was disappointed that he had to do that at first. And then this is what happens. 26.
He declared, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, servants of the Most High.
He did what?
He declared, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, servants of the Most High.
He said, ye are servants of the Most High. El Elyon, that's what he calls them. You are servants of the Most High. It says, come forth and come hither. Now, remember what I told you about Nebuchadnezzar when we started? When Nebuchadnezzar sees something that is wrong, he ain't got no problem changing his ways. And this is when Nebuchadnezzar began to worship the Almighty. This was the first stage when Nebuchadnezzar began to walk away from his idolatry, because at this point, he saw the power of the Most High revealed to him in his face. And he had no problem fighting with it. You know what? These people, these three men, they are really the servants of the Most High, El Shaddai, or El Elyon, the Almighty. Read on. Watch what he says. And watch what he does after he acknowledges this. Read on, please.
Come out and come here. Then
Come here,
Shadrach-
y'all. Over here now. Over here now. Come forward. Come to me. Come on. Stand up. Come here. Uh-huh.
Then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came out from the fire.
They came out of the midst of the fire. What happened to that fourth man? That fourth man was the spirit who governed the fire. There was no reason for him to go anywhere. He couldn't go anywhere. That's his assignment, to cause fire to be a fire. Aish, to be a fire. But those three men came right out. And read on. And you know what? Nebuchadnezzar never even expected the last man to come out. Why doesn't it mention anything about him questioning what happened to the last man? They understood spiritual matters. It's us who don't. Read on, please.
27. And the satraps, the prefects, the governors, and the king's counselors gathered together and saw that the fire had not had any power over the bodies of those men. The hair of their heads was not singed, their cloaks were not harmed, and no smell of fire had come upon them. Nebuchadnezzar answered and said, Blessed be the Most High of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who has sent his angel and delivered his servants.
Is what?
Has sent his angel and delivered his servants.
He sent his angel. What did I tell you? That he had command over those things. Servants of the Most Highs. What is servants but Malachim? Angels of the Most High. Read on, please.
Who trusted in him and set aside the king's command and yielded up their bodies rather than serve and worship any god except their own power.
He said what? Read that part. What verse you on, please?
28.
And what did it say? He did what? He trusted in what?
Has sent his angel and delivered his servants who trusted in him and set aside the king's command and yielded up their bodies rather than serve and worship any god after their own power, except their own power.
He was asked to read that again for y'all. So I'm going to read it again in case you didn't understand. And delivered his servants that trusted in him and have changed the king's word. Who changed the king's word? Shadrach, Meshach, and a big Negro, and Abednego. He changed the king's word and yielded their bodies. That servant actually obeyed the Creator by not allowing the fire to consume the bodies of these men, that they might not serve nor worship any power except their own Elohim. Now, a couple things just came to me now while I was reading this. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego was inside that furnace with the commander of flames, that servant of the Almighty, that angel of the Most High, that messenger of the Most High who commands the flames. They was in that fiery furnace with that commander of flames. Was any glory being given to that angel? Did they turn around and honor that angel? Did they speak about that angel? Did they worship that angel? Did they do anything with that angel that protected them from his servants, the flame? Not absolutely nothing. They don't even mention that angel again. He's not even talked about. It's a wrap. It's over and it's done. And that's one of the issues that a lot of our people have. They want to worship the messenger and not, they want to worship the messenger who brought the message and not the one who sent the messenger to them. That's an issue with a lot of our people. We want to worship the people who stand like the people, like the king. The king is in place because the Most High put him in place. And that's going to be revealed to us in the next chapter. The Most High gave him what he had. Don't look like we're going to get to the next chapter, but we're going to try. The Most High gave him what he had. And he wanted the people to worship him. And the people, the righteous people said, no, I can't worship you. I can only worship the Creator. There was a man, Samson's mother, Manoah, Samson's father, Manoah. The angel came to him and came to his wife and told his wife that he's going to have a son. And they sat down, they break bread with this angel, and they talked to this angel, and the angel brought a blessing upon them. And Manoah turned around to the angel and said, hey, angel, what is your name? The angel turns around to Manoah and say, why are you asking for my name? You don't need to know my name. The only one you're supposed to worship is the Creator. You don't need to know my name. There is no angel in the scriptures that will reveal their names to people. Other ways we got to learn someone's name, but the angels themselves are not commanded to reveal their names to the people. Why? Because the first thing that our people will do is worship the messenger. And we're not supposed to worship the messenger. We're supposed to honor and worship the one who sent the messengers, not the messengers themselves. That's why the angels don't reveal their names to us in that manner. And if you ever come across an angel that's revealing to you his name, you better be careful. If he reveals to you his name, you should be careful about that angel. You have to really question him, who he is, why he's here, what is his purpose, and who sent him, and for what reason. You got to ask that, because angels don't reveal their names. They might tell you the name of another angel, but that other angel ain't did nothing for you. And if an angel does reveal his name, it's because he ain't did nothing for you or to you or with you. So therefore, that angel that came to the Most High, that came to those three men in the midst of that fire, he never tells them his name. At least it's not revealed to us. But then we want to interject and say, oh, this was such and such. Oh, this was such and such, because we want to associate and worship that individual or give power and authority to somebody that don't deserve it, that don't earn it. That angel didn't tell us his name. Very easy. They could have said the name of that angel right there in that chapter, in that verse, but they didn't. If the Most High wanted us to even think that it was who they want to say he is, he could have gave us a hint. He could have let us know. And this is just like in the scriptures, you see it says Gabriel. They could have said this is the name Gabriel right there, but it doesn't say Gabriel, because they knew that something like that, we would turn it around and start worshiping Gabriel. So therefore, they didn't do that. Michael, Uriel, they didn't say none of those names, because the Creator doesn't want us worshiping anybody but him. Anyone but him. But Israel has a hard problem today where we don't understand that we are committing idolatry with this king by serving another. We don't seem to understand that. We tend to think that it's okay to associate partners to the Almighty. Do you hear ancient Israel today, anywhere through the Tanakh, worshiping Moses? And Moses did more for us than any man that walked on this planet, ever. But who worships Moses? Moshe sacrificed his own life so we could survive. But who worships Moses today? Why don't we? If we wanted to lift somebody up and call somebody a savior, it should be Moses, shouldn't it? Because he did exactly that. He saved us. And he didn't save us with a mystical saving. Oh, I don't know about that salvation till after I die. He saved us with a physical salvation in this lifetime that we can all read about and see what took place, where we saw the benefits. And you today are living proof of his works today, because you're here. You made it. Your ancestors was the seeds from those thousands of years ago that brought you here today. Out of that Exodus, there's stories in history, all physical evidence of all these things everywhere about that situation. But nobody's worshiping Moses, and he was the savior of the people who brought the people out of the hand of Egypt that the Creator chose and that the Creator used to do so. The scriptures only show one sin, I would say maybe two sins that Moshe committed. One, the Most High told him to speak to the rock, and he smoked the rock. The other one would be that he wasn't circumcised, and he had to be circumcised. But those will be the only two things, and that circumcision is even questionable. But that would be the only things that Moshe has really done that's been left on record for us to see that would have been a violation of the Creator. So if there's anybody that we should be worshiping, it will be him if we want to give glory to a man in any capacity. But the Creator says, thou should only worship him. We should not worship and honor anybody else on that level except him, only him. But we got an issue. We see where someone else is worthy of the Most High's praise and glory, and that is idolatry. Any way you shape and form it, that is idolatry. Read on, please, Nasik.
29. Therefore, I make a decree. Any people, nation, or language that speak anything against the power of or the Elohim of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego shall be torn limb from limb, and their houses laid in ruins, for there is no other power who is able to rescue in this way.
What did he say again? There is no other what?
There is no other power who is able to rescue in this way.
It's only one, and that's the Creator. Even Nebuchadnezzar himself didn't give glory to that image or to that Son of Man. Even Nebuchadnezzar didn't give him glory. Nebuchadnezzar gave it to the power of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. He gave it to the power of them and not that one who actually did the work out in the fire and the flame, who actually protected them from what he had control over. But he gave glory to the Almighty, and you should do the same. Shabbat Shalom, Amber. Shabbat Shalom. You should do the same. Our minds have been so wrapped up that we can't see how the Most High works oftentimes because we are emotionally attached to a deity. Read on, please.
Then the king promoted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the province of Babylon.
What did he do? He promoted them. Why did he promote them? He had to make some kind of way of correcting the wrong that he did. They was already up here with those people. Now, after all that, they elevated and went higher. So what those people thought to do harm to these people, the righteous ones, they actually got them promoted. So now they're above you when you try to get them removed out of the equation. May the Most High be praised. Read on, please.
Chapter 4. King Nebuchadnezzar and to all the peoples and nations and languages that dwell in the earth, peace be multiplied to you. It has seemed good to me to show the signs and wonders that the Most High has done for me. How great are his signs?
I want you to see what he said. He said, I thought it good to show the signs and wonders that the Almighty, the Most High, he wasn't talking like that in the beginning of chapter 3. He wasn't talking like that. Now he's talking about the Most High. So he just removed himself from his idolatry with all his deities, and now he worshiping the Almighty. Read on, please. But even with him, it's going to be a little bit of a struggle. Read on, please.
It has seemed good to me to show the signs and wonders that the Most High has done for me. How great are his signs, how mighty his wonders. His kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and his dominion endures from generation to generation. I, Nebuchadnezzar, was at ease in my house and prospering in my place.
So now, just so I can set the record straight so you understand, this is an after effect. He wrote this after he had an experience. But notice he gave glory to the Most High for what he's about to tell us. Read on.
I saw a dream that made me afraid. As I lay in bed, the fancies and the visions of my head alarmed me. So I made a decree that all the wise men of Babylon should be brought before me, that they might make known to me the interpretation of the dream.
And then who did he call in?
Then the magicians, the enchanters, the Chaldeans, and the astrologers came in, And I told them the dream, but they could not make known to me its interpretation.
Stop right there for a second. Y'all got to pay attention. Listen to this. Listen to this. He says, then came in the magicians. And y'all know the magicians like the magic people, the people who do that spooky stuff, practice black magic and all that. The astrologers, those who play with the tarot cards and read the signs in the heavens and all that type of stuff. The Chaldeans who work the secret arts. And then the soothsayers who claim to be prophets. He brought all of them together and none of them could interpret his dream. Not one of them. You know why they couldn't interpret it? It's not because they didn't have power. It's not because they was false and corny. If they was false and corny, they wouldn't have been in his council because he wasn't that kind of king. You had to prove himself to earn your position with him. So they were able to do all the things that their positions and titles held for them, except the Most High had a plan. So the Most High shut them down from receiving revelation. Now pay close attention to what I'm about to say. The magicians, the astrologers, the Chaldeans, the soothsayers, those prophets, those people who prophesy even in today, they all go through the back door to gain access to the Almighty. So therefore, the things that they're tapping into is real, it's true, but they didn't get it the right way. That's why they always say, if you put a curse on somebody, you got to be in that circle of protection so that that curse don't get on you, because they're traveling through the back door. You have permission, Israel. You have permission to go through the front door. You don't have to do what they're doing. You don't have to practice idolatry. You don't have to do this wickedness to receive from the Almighty. The best thing you should do is turn and serve the King accordingly through the front door, the way that he requires of it. So they had to go through the back door. But the reason why none of them had information for the king is because the Most High shut them down. He shut them down so that they couldn't have that access. Access denied. Access denied. He changed the security code and they couldn't get in. So therefore, they could tell Nebuchadnezzar nothing. Read on, please. Most High.
Verse 8. At last, Daniel came in before me.
Now stop for a second. Stop for a second. At last, Daniel came in before me. Well, wait a minute. Ho. He called for the magicians, the astrologers, the Chaldeans, and the soothsayers, those people who can interpret dreams and all those things. And none of them had an answer for him. And then Daniel came in. So what is he calling Daniel?
Who was named Belteshazzar.
Belteshazzar.
After the name of my God.
After the name of his deity. And then read on.
And in whom is the spirit of the holy gods.
And who is the spirit of the holy gods? So Nebuchadnezzar, who knows of the Almighty, who used to practice idolatry, who came into the knowledge of the Almighty, still brought some of his idolatrous ways with him. He sounds like a Hebrew. He sounds like an Israelite. We still holding on to our idolatry, even though we know the Most High demands of us to serve him and him alone. Nebuchadnezzar was no different than what we're practicing today. Read on, please.
And I told him the dream, saying, "O Belteshazzar, chief of the magicians."
What did he call him? Chief of what?
Chief of the magicians.
He called Daniel chief of the magicians. He called for all his magicians, astrologers, Chaldeans, and soothsayers, all those people who could work mysteries. He called all of them. And they came in. Then nobody could give him nothing. So then came Daniel. He says, "Oh, Belteshazzar, master." Now I looked that word up. That word master in Hebrew is Rab, short for rabbi. Master, Rab of the magicians. He was the master of the magicians, because I know that the spirit of the holy power is in thee. he recognized that the Almighty was was working through, was dealing with Daniel, unlike he was dealing with anyone else. So a lot of times people won't like you, will have to come to you for the services that the Most High is going to allow them to receive. But it has to come through you. Read on, please.
And that no mystery is too difficult for you.
No mystery is too difficult for thee.
Tell me the visions of my dream that I saw and their interpretation.
Tell me the vision of my dream and give me the interpretation.
The visions of my head as I lay in bed were these. I saw, and behold, a tree in the midst of the earth, and its height was great. The tree grew and became strong, and its top reached to heaven, and it was visible to the end of the whole earth.
Let's stop for a second. I saw in the vision of my head in my bed. When he was laying there at night, he was resting. He didn't say it was at night, but he was in his bed resting. I saw and behold a tree. A tree is symbolic of men. One tree is symbolic of a man. In the midst of the earth and the height thereof was great. So that means that this tree was powerful in the earth, like a king or a ruler. Then it said the tree grew and was strong. It's symbolically showing his power and his might. As that tree grew, that king would be powerful. That king would be mighty. And he will go from one end of the earth to the other end of the earth. He's describing himself. The Creator sometimes reveals to you a matter about you before he gives it to you. Because if he's merciful, which we know he is, he's giving you opportunity to change your ways. You might not like it. You might get upset. You might be angry, but it's okay because he's giving you the opportunity to change your ways. Read on, please. Watch what happens.
12. Its leaves are beautiful and its fruit abundant, and in it was food for all. The beasts of the field found shade under it, and the birds of the heavens lived in its branches, and all flesh was fed from it.
Let's back up. What I tell you this was a king. And the duty of a king is supply the needs of his people. It says the leaves thereof were fair. I mean, his kingdom looked good. The leaves comes from the branches which bear fruit and people, teach. So all of his men was in order, looking good. And the fruit thereof much. The people that come from those trees or those branches, they was powerful people. And in it was meat for all. He was a king who fed his people. Now that's the final chapter. I ain't gonna say the final chapter, but that's one of the great chapters that anybody in leadership should be able to do. And that's feed the people. Like I teach all the time, our people should never have to leave the land to have a way of surviving and providing for themselves. Their king, their leader, their spiritual entity who serves the Almighty supposed to have these methods in place. And if you're sitting in the community and you got to go out and work a job 9 to 5, and you've been in that community for 10, 15, and 20 years, and your spiritual leader haven't devised a plan to get you in order and so help to make you self-sufficient, then your spiritual leader is lacking at his job. Because when it comes times for the holy days, you got to go to another man to seek permission to serve your creator. That's not a good thing. We shouldn't have to go to anybody to serve the Most High the way that we're supposed to serve him. So every one of us who is punching the clock and I ain't talking about y'all who go out because you want to go out, because you choose to go out. I'm talking about y'all who really ain't got no choice. And you got a spiritual leader there, and he's not trying to prepare and devise a way for you to be self-sufficient. Something's wrong with that. Matter of fact, question yourself, is he self-sufficient? Because if he ain't self-sufficient, he's not going to teach you how to be self-sufficient. So therefore, he's not a king. Because kings are self-sufficient. Sometimes kings answer to the emperor. Sometimes. Sometimes kings don't have anybody to answer to. So this king himself, this spiritual leader himself, In order for him to teach you how to survive this struggle and this war that we in, he first got to be surviving himself. If he drowning and sinking, he can't help you. So you might have to trade him in and find somebody better than him to help bring you up. You just may have to, because so is the way of life. If Nebuchadnezzar wasn't able to do all these things that he's talking about right here, he wouldn't have had all them people serving him. They wouldn't have been under his providence. You know, I think about like churches and preachers and ministers in the churches. You know how the churches get so big and so strong and so powerful? It's because the preacher, the teacher, the minister shares the wealth with the people underneath of him. And a lot of those mega churches, they live off of the people. Because the people are not stingy, first of all. They give to the leadership. Israelite people don't give nothing. Israelites will walk with you for 20 and 30 years and give you $10, $15 to help in a movement that's helping them to survive. That too need to change. But in the churches, those people will give their last. They'll give their last. They will go without some lights to make sure that they put their offering to the plate. And pastor get that offering. If he receives $100, $5 go to this bishop, $5 go to that bishop, and so on and so on. But everybody in the power, the seat of authority, is being fed. Pastor get the most of it, but they get something. They're self-sufficient. They don't really have to work. In those big mega churches, they work by causing the church to flow. But here in Israel, we don't do that. First, we don't do it because the people don't give up money. But if the people did give money and contribute, that money will go to the leadership. The leadership should take that money and help feed the people, because that's what true leadership is about. Servitude to the people. Anybody who walks with a man, you're under that man. You're under his protection. You're under his responsibility. He's supposed to be like a king to you. He is supposed to feed and provide your every need. And if he's not, then he's failing at his job. His prayers should be to the Creator to better his position so that he can feed all of his people. Not one or two of them, but all of the people. This Western world is different. This Western world has taught us that you go out and get for yourself. That's not the ancient world. That's not how our world was when it came to leadership. The people who walked right there with leadership was fed because of the means and the know-how of the leaders to be able to produce things that the people could make money. In ancient Babylon was one of the richest provinces in the world in the ancient days. And the reason why ancient Babylon was one of the richest provinces, the king wasn't the only one that was wealthy. The people was wealthy as well, because the king will set out a decree to educate the people, to teach the people how to make money. The people will go out, make their money, and bring their money back to Babylon. Pay their portions to the king. The king reversed it and paid out the people he had to pay. Therefore, the nation of Babylon was one of the mightiest nations on the earth. And here we have a result of that right now today with Nebuchadnezzar. He speaks about it. He gives us a little hint about how it's done right there, how he feeds the people. He provides the needs of the people. That's why he can say, when you hear those bells and those sounds, everybody shut down what you're doing and worship me. Because everybody worked for him in one way or another. And then you can make that decree, which wouldn't be righteous, but it will be able to be made. Read on, please. I'm just trying to give you a glimpse of how our society is supposed to run. When the holy day come along, Silica, when the holy day come along, we shouldn't have to get letters to get off of our jobs to say, hey, listen, I need this day off from work. We shouldn't have to do that, because we should live in a community and work in that community that everybody already knows this holy day is coming. We shutting down. Everybody should already know we ain't working. We ain't got to call no European or no anybody to look like us or whoever you work for and give human resources a letter saying you can't come in on this day. You shouldn't have to do that. That means we're doing something wrong. And for the majority of us, we're doing something wrong. We're doing something wrong. This is not how the Most High intended for us to be an honorable, set apart people, to be slaves for somebody else, because that's what we're doing. It's modern day slavery. You go to work to keep their wheels turning, to make them rich, and you're not bringing hardly any wealth back to yourself or the people that you're associated with. But that's not how it's supposed to work. Each and every one of us is supposed, this community is supposed to be thriving because we got all these people who give contributions to make sure that this community can exist. Here it is, we got a school, we got buildings, a medical center we're trying to build, we got houses we got to buy for the land, we got wells to dig, we got gardens to plant, we got all these things to do. Who do you think these things are for? They're for the people. So therefore, the people should be giving something toward their future. But that's not what happens. Very few. But that's not how it was in the ancient days. In the ancient days, the people made it great because the people was great in their mind and they gave back. They understood the wheel and how the wheel had to turn. In the black communities, in the black culture, in the black society, if we make $6 billion a year, 6,500,000,000 goes out to the other nations. We almost keep nothing. Matter of fact, we got to borrow from ourselves to get a little extra to give out just so we can make it through for the year, the quota. Our monies don't turn in our own communities. It don't turn in our own cycles, but it should. It should. Very little of our money should leave our community, but it doesn't work that way because we're westernized. And everybody want to drive a big car, live in a big house. Everybody want to have the nicest of clothes. And nobody's worried about the brothers and sisters right next door to them, whether they even ate last night, whether they got heat, whether their lights are working. Nobody cares about those things. They only care about themselves. And we have gotten so far away from nationhood, family values in the epitome of serving this king. We've gotten so far away from that. But we at Beulah Land and Temple Kepharine, we're doing what we can to return that back to the Israelite culture. We're doing what we can. It's a long process, and we ain't nowhere near that right now. But we're a lot further and closer than the average. But we got the understanding, the proper perspective, and we're trying to implement these things and put these things in place like they're supposed to be. We're doing our best to make sure that it happens. May the Most High be praised. Toda Rabbah. Nasi?
12. Its leaves are beautiful and its fruit abundant, and in it was food for all. The beasts of the field found shade under it, and the birds of the heavens lived in its branches, and all flesh was fed from it. I saw in the visions of my head as I lay in bed, and behold, a watcher, a holy one, came down from heaven.
So someone came down from heaven, a holy one, a watcher, came down from heaven and going to deal with him. And what did he say?
He proclaimed aloud and said thus, chop down the tree and lop off its branches, strip off its leaves and scatter its fruit. Let the beasts flee from under it and the birds from its branches.
You know what this is saying? This is saying that every wicked leader, his time will come when he will be destroyed and removed down and have to go down from a place that maybe he rose up from. He's going to go down to the level of a common man, but yet he's still going to have his throne. He's still going to be a leader. He's still going to be in place. He still have opportunity to get back what he's going to lose. So the people are no longer going to be fed by him. The beasts of the field is no longer be fed by him. He's still going to be king, but he's going to be king of a disappointed kingdom. Read on, please.
But leave verse 15. But leave the stump of his roots in the earth, bound with the band of iron and bronze, amid the tender grass of the field. Let him be wet with the dew of heaven. Let his portion be with the beasts in the grass of the earth.
So that means that he's going to live like an animal in the earth. He's going to have a little bit of wealth, but his wealth ain't going to be gold and silver and platinum. His wealth is going to be iron and silver, iron and rust and metal. It's not going to be as it once was, iron and brass. It means he's going to have a harder time in life than he had before. But if he remains loyal and faithful to the Creator, he will succeed. He's going to be tried. Every man must be tried. And watch this. Read on, please.
16. Let his mind be changed from a man's, and let his beast's mind be given to him.
Let his mind be changed from a man's mind and give him his beast's mind. He's going to walk around on all fours, scuffling, scraping, and eating things that he ain't supposed to eat. The spirit of the Almighty is actually being removed from him. And that's what we're reading about. Read on, please.
And let 7 periods of time pass over him.
7 years.
The sentence is by the decree of the watchers, the decision by the word of the holy ones, to the end that the living may know that the Most High rules the kingdom of men and gives it to whom he will and sets over it the lowest of men.
The Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men. The Most High, and there isn't but one, and giveth it to whomever he will, and setteth up over it and the basis of men, the stupidest of men, the lowliest of men. Read on, please.
This dream I, King Nebuchadnezzar, saw, and you, O Belteshazzar, tell me the interpretation, because all the wise men of my kingdom are not able to make known to me the interpretation, but you are able, for the spirit of the holy gods is in you.
He said the spirit of holy God. So he still got a little bit of idolatry in him. And let's see what Daniel tells him. Daniel.
Then Daniel, whose name was Belteshazzar, was dismayed for a while, and his thoughts alarmed him. The king answered and said, Belteshazzar, let not the dream or the interpretation alarm you. Belteshazzar answered and said, my lord, may the dream be for those who hate you, and its interpretation for your enemies.
May the dream be for those who hate you, and the interpretation thereof for all of your enemies. Read on. That's deep.
The tree you saw, which grew and became strong, so that its top reached to heaven, and it was visible to the end of the whole earth, whose leaves are beautiful and its fruit abundant, and which was food for all, under which beasts of the field found shade, and in whom branches the birds of the heavens live. It is you, O king, who have grown and become strong. Your greatness has grown and reaches to heaven, and your dominion to the ends of the earth. And because the king saw a watcher, a holy one, coming down from heaven and saying, chop down the tree and destroy it, but leave the stump of his roots in the earth, bound with a band of iron and bronze in the tender grass of the field, and let him be wet with the dew of heaven, and let his portion be the beasts of the field till 7 periods of time pass over him. This is the interpretation, O king. It is a decree of the Most High, which has come upon my lord the king, that you should be driven among.
It's a decree of the Most High. This is truly coming from the Almighty, and this is the interpretation of the thing.
That you should be driven from among men, and your dwelling should be with the beasts of the field. You should be made to eat grass like an ox, and you should be wet with the dew of heaven, and 7 periods of time shall pass over you, till you know that the Most High rules the kingdom of men and gives it to whom he will.
Now remember, this man was coming out of idolatry, but yet still dragging his idolatry ways in him. He was mixing between truly worshiping the Almighty and having a portion of his previous past in his ways and in his behavior. So he was really like dragging along some of the things that he should have cut off when he realized and he confessed that there is no power like the Almighty. He should have gave all of his strength to the Most High and the Most High worship, but he didn't know how to do that. Well, I ain't gonna say he didn't know how to do that. He could have done it, but he chose not to do it. Just like a lot of us today. We're dragging along. We came out of these religions, but we still bringing little ayats and little things, idioms from these religions in our worship of the Almighty, just like Nebuchadnezzar did. But Nebuchadnezzar did it, and watch what his downfall was. Read on, please.
26. And as it was commanded to leave the stump of the roots of the tree, Your kingdom shall be confirmed for you from the time that you know that heaven's rules. Therefore, O king, let my counsel be acceptable to you. Break off your sins by practicing righteousness. And your
What he say? What he What he say? He said, "Hear, O Israel, break off your sins by practicing righteousness, and thine iniquities."
By showing mercy to the oppressed, that there may perhaps be a lengthening of your prosperity.
Go ahead.
All this came upon King Nebuchadnezzar. At the end of the 12 months, he was walking on the roof of the royal palace of Babylon.
So he forgot all about that. He forgot about the dream. He forgot about the vision. And a whole year passed by, 12 months. And watch what happens.
And the king answered and said, "Is not this great Babylon, which I have built by my mighty power as a royal residence and for the glory of my majesty?"
He started talking about what he did. What he did by his power, by his might. And he forgot that the Most High was the one who was blessing him. He already knew of the Most High. When he did know the Most High, he could have got away with that. But now that he know of the Creator, he can't say that about himself because it's a sin. It's idolatry. You're making yourself an idol. Read on, please, and watch what happens.
While the words were still in the king's mouth, there fell a voice from heaven. "O King Nebuchadnezzar, to you it is spoken, the kingdom has departed from you. Wow. And you should be driven from among men, and your dwelling should be with the beasts of the field. And you should be made to eat grass like an ox. And 7 periods of time shall pass over you, until you know that the Most High rules the kingdom of men."
Until he knows what? Until he knows what?
Rules the kingdom of men.
The Most High rules the kingdom of men. No others. Just the Most High. He tried to bring all his deities and incorporate them in his service to the king. And the Most High allowed him to get away with it for a long time. For a long time, he let him get away with it until he spoke out against the Creator and disrespected the Almighty. And the Most High brought him down. But did you notice the Most High gave him a hint a year ago? A year before it took place, the Most High said, "Be mindful that thou not cause thyself to be cut down low into the grass." And he was strong for 1 year until one day he got out there and said, "You know what? I did this." He didn't do anything, but he forgot. And he was warned by the Almighty. Read on, please.
And gives it to whom he will. 33. Immediately the word was fulfilled against Nebuchadnezzar. He was driven from among men and ate grass like an ox, and his body was wet with the dew of heaven till his hair grew as long as eagle's feathers, and his nails were like birds' claws. At the end of the days, I, Nebuchadnezzar, lifted my eyes to heaven, and my reason returned to me.
See, this is Nebuchadnezzar who told us a story about what happened to him in his life. A lot of people don't get to come back from something like this. A lot of people go out and they lose hope and they lose their way and they start practicing idolatry. I need you to understand that when this chapter started off, Nebuchadnezzar said, "The king of all people, Nebuchadnezzar, the king unto all people, nations and languages that dwell in the earth, peace be multiplied unto you. I thought it good to show the signs and wonders that the Most High, El Elyon, has wrought unto me, what he has done to me." So he begins to tell his story. And in the midst of his telling his story, he turns back and reflects. And at the end of these days, I, Nebuchadnezzar, lifted up my eyes to heaven, and my understanding returned unto me. He lifted up his eyes to the Most High, which means that he sought the Most High again. He left all the idols. And Israel, what I'm saying to us is that we are suffering today in our captivity. And until we eating grass just like the animals, we eating the things of the field, the polluted breads, drinking the poison water, everything just like the animals. And until we turn back to the Most High and our eyes is lifted up to the Almighty again without anybody's association, We are just like Nebuchadnezzar. We're committing idolatry. We got to turn back to the Most High. He has no partners. He doesn't need any help. And if he does utilize different energies to do whatever, that's whom he will. He chooses to, and you don't give them no glory, no honor, no respect, no praise. Your praise belongs to the Most High and the Most High alone. That's what we're messing up, family. That's why we're in the condition we're in today, because too many of us want to give the Most High praises to someone else. And the Most High is giving us warning after warning after warning, hint after hint after hint. And we keep going with our emotions, worshiping these deities. And the Most High is begging and pleading with us. Return unto me, Israel. Return unto me, Israel. And what do we keep saying? We keep saying, I know better than the Most High. The Most High has no problem with me. He gave me what I'm doing right now. Look what the Most High has blessed me with. The Most High didn't bless you with that. Your oppressors blessed you with that. The Greek authorities that was over you, reigning supreme over you in those days, oh, they gave you that. And you holding on to it. The Egyptians who ruled over you and suppressed you, they gave you that. The Babylonians, they gave you that. And you're holding on to it. The Most High brought you out from them and said, return to me. And you keep saying, yeah, I'll serve you, Creator, but I got to bring this with me. The Most High is saying, no, you don't bring anything with you, Nebuchadnezzar. You only serve me. Nebuchadnezzar went through all that to find out that until he returned back to the Most High and the Most High alone, he went from a plural to a singular. And that's what we got to do, family. We got to reverse this curse. It's too many of us practicing idolatry in today's world for us to get back right with the Almighty. Let it go. Please, family, let it go. Because I want to go home. I don't want to be here. I want to go home in our land where we can worship the Almighty like it's supposed to be. And I can't do that by myself. I can get as righteous as I want to get and worship the Most High to the best of my behavior any way I can, but I can't do it by myself. It's going to take a collective efforts of all of us to get right with this King. At least the majority of us, at least that small remnant of a remnant, at least that remnant of a remnant can get right with the Almighty, and he'll reverse this curse. But we can't even get that right. That little remnant of a remnant who ain't practicing and worshiping according to the Greek writings, who ain't worshiping according to the Greek writings, we find problems with the Torah, which keep us separated and divided, which keep us from uniting, which keeps us from calling on the Most High to the best of our abilities. We got to get it right, family. We got to get it right. Time is running out. And if you can't see the handwritings on the wall that destruction is coming, something's wrong with you. Because I see it. I teach it every week. We see it. We know it to be true. What are you going to do about it, family, to change your condition? You have to look to the Almighty and the Most High alone for your salvation. No other. None but El Shaddai, El Elyon, El Arakum. Only him. The Almighty is the only one we shall be serving, honoring, worshiping, praying to. Him and him alone. And anything that the Greek people gave us, give it back to the Greek people. And let's worship this King. Read on, please.
At the end of days, I, Nebuchadnezzar, lifted my eyes to heaven, and my reason returned to me. And I blessed the Most High, and praised and honored him who lives forever. For his dominion is an everlasting dominion, and his kingdom endures from generation to generation. All the inhabitants of the earth are accounted as nothing, and he does according to his will among the hosts of heaven and among the inhabitants of the earth. And none can stay his hand or say to him, what have you done? At the same time, my reason returned to me, and for the glory of my kingdom and my glory of my kingdom, my majesty and splendor returned to me. My counselors and my lords sought me, and I was established in my kingdom, and still more greatness was added to me. Now I, Nebuchadnezzar, praise and extol and honor the King of Heaven. For all
Oh, man, come on, y'all. If he can do it, we can do it. And we can outdo him because we got the blood that runs through us, the spirit that inhabits us. We belong to the Almighty like none other on this earth. But we can't seem to get it together. We can't seem to get it right because too many of us want to play with our lives and we just can't seem to let that idolatry go. Let it go, family. The Most High is calling us to return to him. He is prolonging your days, giving you opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to get it right, and you still spitting in his face. You still keep saying, I know a better way. This is the way we're supposed to do it. And he keeps saying to you that you're not right. That's not the way I want it done. Nebuchadnezzar learned the hard way. And if you need, he's going to teach you the hard way with the death rod. And more of us are going to be falling off, falling by the wayside, being destroyed. But the Most High wishes that a man should live and not have to die.
You still there, Brooks?
Yeah, I'm here. Close it out, please.
I'm not sure if we're distorted to everyone else, but I've said that we are.
Yeah.
Now I, Nebuchadnezzar, praise and extol and honor the King of Heaven, for all his works are right, and his ways are just, and those who walk in pride he is able to humble.
Those who walk in pride, he is able to humble. May the Most High be praised. May the Most High be praised. Tadabah. We have to return to the Almighty, family. And I know that you think you know. I know you do. I know that you think you know what you're doing. And I know you feel it in your heart that the path you on is the right path. All I ask of you is that you seek the Most High and the Most High alone and ask him what he would have for you to do. Stop thinking you know. Stop acting like you know. And just seek him and him alone. Surrender your will to the will of the Almighty and ask him to show you the way, to direct your steps, to lead your life the way that it's supposed to be. And don't pray to him in anybody's name. Go to him on your own account and ask him to teach you his truth and to show you what he requires of you. And give him an offering, make a sacrifice, like go on a fast or something for a couple days, a week or so. Go on a fast, but ask that of the Almighty to show you and to reveal to you what his path is, the true path of servitude unto him. And see what he does. If he leads you back into idolatry, then by all means, go there. But if he turns your direction and you begin to wrestle and struggle with that in your life, then that lets you know that that ain't the path for you. Try him and see what he does. Because if he really loves you, he's going to give it to you. And if he loves you as much as you say he does, he's going to reveal his truth to you. May the Most High be with you all. May the Most High bless you all. And just so that you know, this is a very emotional subject. It's very emotional because I care for my people. But me caring for you is not enough. You have to care for yourself. And you have to want what's best for you, not somebody else to want what's best for you. You have to want what's best for you yourself. You can't use my eyes to see. Ask the Most High to give you your own eyes. Just challenge it and see if I'm right. It just may be he put you here for a reason. He put you within the sound of my voice for a reason. He's happy with the levels of advancement that you have made thus far, but you got so much further to go. Ask him and see what he does. Surrender your will to him in completeness and see what he does. That's right. Try him. Family, we'll be back today at 4 o'clock. If it is the will of the Creator, we'll be back today at 4 o'clock. Thank you all for coming out. May the Most High be with you all. Shabbat Shalom Lekim.